won in overtime.
Seattle has won in overtime. The Niners are no longer undefeated. Pop the cork, Bob Greasy. Mercury Morris. All the rest of the 1962 Dolphins. Pop the cork. The final unbeaten has been beaten. Good night now. Russell Wilson for MVP, although he threw that interception. So you were thinking, is he really the MVP? But then he came back, and now he's MVP. So make him MVP again after what a game. Thank you, Monday Night Football. Thank you for that. That's what Monday Night Football used to be like every week. It mattered. It counted. It was good as it was excited. It went down to the end. You had plays, and you had two good football teams. That was Monday Night Football, old school style. Good morning and merry whatever day it is to you. Tuesday. Oh, yeah, yesterday was Monday, so that makes today the day after. Happy Tuesday to you. It's your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Hoser producing for you as always. There's Alden saying, what's up, dude? Can I get upstairs? I didn't set my alarm right. Good thing I didn't sleep to my alarm, bro. I'm just right here. Can you let me up? Yeah, I did let Hoser know so it doesn't come down. Oh, that's a good idea. I found Alden in the...
found a producer on the streets.
I found Alden down. Is any of that inaccurate? Just asking. Is any of that wrong? Did I make any of that?
No, that's perfectly accurate on that one, Jeff.
I want to make sure. All right, we're on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26 around the state of New Mexico. We got everything we asked for last night. As Joe Tessitore told you, it exceeded expectations. I don't know about that, but It was really good.
Yeah, you had some of the warts of both teams exposed, which is going to happen in a tight contest. 2 defensive touchdowns either way, some questionable quarterback play from Jimmy G, but then that late bad decision by Russell Wilson, which he was able to make up for with the late scramble, the clutch field goals, the not-so-clutch field goal, and then the walk-off field goal.
When the rookie hits that first field goal, you go, wow, onions, right? Yeah. I mean, that was right down the middle. Nice job by the guy who was plenty of times.
A little much by Booger there at the end. The moment's too big. Well, it wasn't a minute earlier.
He said that right after Tessitore said, is the moment too big for the rookie kicker? Oh, and he never had a chance.
Sent the game to overtime.
The moment's too big for him, obviously. This is come on, Boog. Really? How do you know? He missed a kick. You ever tried to kick a ball? You ever missed a block, Boog? You ever missed a tackle? Just asking. You were a defensive lineman. You ever missed a tackle?
That was the moment which they did not execute, and for the 49ers, you're going in there, all right, knowing our defense can hang with the best quarterbacks in this league. I think there's some people that leaving with questions about Jimmy G, especially the early throws on that eventual game-tying drive late. Like when he hits KJ right in the chest.
You mean the 2 interceptions that should have been, and that game should have ended early, and the guy who I beat by like 0.3 of a point would have been happy about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Very questionable decision-making late from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. I've told you, Jimmy G has weapons, and so they put him in a really nice position. I think Kyle Shanahan is a terrific play caller. They've got something going there. I think they're really good. I think they're the best part about the 49ers, honestly, I think, is their defense. I think their defense is terrific. Now, they put together 3 running backs who I think, and Breida, it was Coleman and a little bit of Mostert last night, and I think when you throw Breida in the mix, I think they've got 3. You can make the argument they've got the best trio of running backs in the NFL. They don't have the best one like at on the front line, but as far as 3 deep, they've
done a great job with talent. And this is what I love about the NFC right now is you might not like Jimmy Garoppolo over some of the other quarterbacks, but that team is still top 3 team in the NFC. Like if you want to put right now, Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, who you fill in at the moment. So while Jimmy G might be a little bit down on the list, he has a coaching and offensive scheme with talent around him that's going to raise his level. So like Jimmy G in that offense, I think it is better than, say, Mitchell Trubisky in that Bears team last year that's going on the run, and they have a defense that's almost just as good. That's what I look at the NFC And I think it's going to be a fantastic postseason. I think you saw it last night between those two teams. We're going to get it again as that division is still on the line between Seahawks and 49ers because you have the quarterback play, you have the talent, you have the coaching with the top teams in the NFC.
Yeah, and I think he's got some weapons on the outside. His young receivers are good, and when you throw Sanders in there, assuming it was a rib injury?
A rib injury.
Are we done with him or what?
Didn't come back into the game. Now, for the Seahawks, hearing that Tyler Lockett spent the night in the hospital,
right.
And now all of a sudden his season is in question.
That's a big deal.
How
too.
About the addition of Josh Gordon?
Josh Gordon, and how about Boog? As bad as I thought that him saying the moment was too big, he was dead on those 2 third-down calls where he said it's Josh Gordon time, and here he is. And Russell Wilson found Josh Gordon, and to your point, yes, absolutely, that was a gigantic pickup for them, and if Lockett's out for any extended time. On the San Francisco side, if he gets Kittle back and Sanders there, they're even better. And that's why I think Niner fans going, well, I mean, we did that and without probably your two, well, not even probably, your two best receivers. Not even probably, your two best receivers. And no Breida. But give it to Seattle and making plays, and give it to Seattle's defense. For making the stop after the interception, and then the stop meant making it a long field goal. And then remember, Russell Wilson gave the ball back. They had to give the ball back to San Francisco with 1:40-something to go, and Seattle got off the field with only 25 seconds expired and got the ball back to Russell Wilson to set up that game-winning field goal. So, and you got guys on the outside. Who was 17 that was playing instead of Lockett? The receiver for, right? I sound like Bob Davey now. And 17 made some really good
on
plays.
The outside.
Yeah, but
Brown?
I don't believe it was Brown.
Aaron
it was
Brown?
and I'll tell you who it was, but it was Turner, Mark Turner.
Malik Turner, who the heck is that?
Malik Turner, and I'm calling him Mark, and it's Malik because my eyes are like that. Yeah, who's Malik Turner?
Who are you, Malik Turner?
Did you even know?
Jacob Hollister, baby.
Hollister in the last 2 weeks.
Wyoming in the house.
Was that a good pickup when I needed a
Pokes.
tight end? I needed a tight end this week. Was that a good pickup? Didn't win, but I mean it was a good pickup. That's that tight end that's come off out of nowhere and done things. So great football last night. Great watching. How about that? I don't know if it was great football. It was really good football, really good defense. We're seeing the teams right now, the best teams in the league are teams that are rising to defense. We've talked about how good New England's defense was all year until, and we'll see. Pittsburgh's in the playoff. They're in the 6th spot right now because of defense. As good as Lamar Jackson's been, their defense is really, really good, right?
It's Lamar Jackson.
It's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson. But is their defense really, really good?
Is good.
They scored twice, but it was the Bengals the other day. But yeah, San Francisco and Seattle's defense is really good. New Orleans' defense has been really, really good. Chicago's defense has been really good. Minnesota's defense has been really, really good. So if you want to take a look at, and again, there's an exception to every rule, certainly, but in the NFL right now, take a look at the best teams, and the only reason Buffalo's in a playoff position right now, it's their defense. Right? You got a lot of good defense. Kansas City's offense is really good, but you know what? They've lost 4 to the last 5. You know why? Their defense isn't
not
very
good.
Yeah, their defense isn't very
good. You have to find a way to have some balance. And like I said, the NFC stands out really with the top 6 teams, just how good they are on each side of the football, from coaching to what we see at the quarterback position. Last night was a little bit of everything. You have Russell Wilson able to step up after that interception in overtime, thanks to the defense and what they were able to do to get that football back. But he was able to scramble 6 times for 53 yards. And man, oh man, that race is going to be a lot of fun because you come in this morning and I'm sitting there going, all right, is it Aaron Rodgers and the Packers? The Saints just had a bad loss, but that team still has a good defense and Drew Brees at quarterback. How much are you going to just move them down a little bit, the 49ers? Because it's going to be a lot of fun down the stretch.
The Niners got a good look down the stretch. They're going to get the Cardinals at home, then they got Green Bay at home, and then they get the Ravens, then they get the Saints. And they finish up with the Rams and the Seahawks. Now, I don't think the Rams are very good, but the Seahawks' last game of the year could mean everything.
Could be for the division, and if you're the 49ers, you still want to hang in there for first round bye,
That's
home
right.
field advantage in the playoffs. The Packers are going to be playing for the
Could be
same
both
thing.
of them playing for the same thing. The Seahawks too. I mean, the Seahawks could be in that position as well. So it was fun. I want your thoughts on the football last night because that was a good watch. It took a little longer than maybe you thought it was going to take, but it was a good watch, and that's what Monday Night Football used to be like. Guest list today coming up 8:00 this morning. Doug Martin, New Mexico State's football coach, is scheduled to be with us. Aggies are home for Incarnate Word on Saturday, an opportunity to finally get off the schneid, and a real good opportunity for them. So we'll talk to him about the trip down to Oxford, where they got beat by Ole Miss on Saturday past, and looking ahead to the next two, Incarnate Word, and then University of Texas, El Paso. The Miners will be in next week. Talk a little Lobo football as well. Lady Lobos get going tonight against Houston. It was a wild one last time. Lobo men tomorrow night in the pit against Green Bay. We got a Rookie of the Year. We got baseball awards coming out today. We got to get into the Don Cherry situation. Cowboy fans can't stop talking about your coach, so we'll get there as well. 505-246-0610. That's 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico.
Say Lady Lobos Houston tonight here on the Sports Animal 630. Joshua Sushan will crack the microphone for you from Radio Row at the pit. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, host Sway and Alden. Glad you're with us this morning. Doug Martin will be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Tessitore is way over the top, and I don't like Booger. San Francisco reminds me of Baltimore from a couple of years ago. Really good defense and a quarterback who won't go downfield much but is a game manager. That's right. Thank you, James Patrick. It was a text message I just received on that. I think that's fair. It's
Jeff up on the text line.
The interest, the growth of Jimmy Garoppolo and what is ceiling, and that's kind of what I told you going in, right? I'm not sold on now. He's an adequate quarterback. There's certainly worse quarterbacks than Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's a bargain now that we've moved on from his contract. You know, they paid him before there was a body of work, so that's why there's still so much hesitation. But you start comparing him to the new quarterback contracts, then you're like, oh, all right, Jimmy G is a pretty good price quarterback. But if you're looking at the teams that can compete, he's just as good as Kirk Cousins.
That's correct.
Other than, so if we're doing the quarterback hierarchy,
Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, but
if we're doing but he has a better offensive coach right now. Kyle Shanahan is boy genius this year.
Oh, that's right.
So if we're looking at quarterbacks in the NFC, Wilson, Rodgers, Breeze, Prescott. And then is it Wentz, Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins? Where are you going after that?
So you're going Wilson number one, and I think that's right. And then Aaron Rodgers, and then Drew Brees. I tell you, I mean, I think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback on a bad team. So I guess that doesn't matter, right? Because they're a bad team. Am I going Prescott next? Are you asking me who do I want this year? Or who do I want long
that
term?
Are in contention right now.
All right, so
because I think that's the problem sometimes when we have these conversations is people get caught up on last year, next year versus just right now.
Okay, so that's what you're asking.
It's the whole Lamar Jackson thing. Like, well, I don't know if he can win from the pocket. I don't care. Can that team get to the AFC Championship game this year and potentially the Super Bowl? Absolutely.
So you're asking me quarterbacks right now
in contention right now, NFC.
Does Matthew Stafford count?
They're not in contention. That team is not going to the playoffs. He's got a broken back. Not playing.
He does have a broken back. I'll go Carson Wentz. That's the Wentz before Prescott argument. I'll go. Well, the Cowboys beat him, Jeff. Yeah, I know. I'd probably go Carson Wentz fourth. And then Dak, and then Jimmy, and then you got to decide between Kyle Allen, Jameis, and Mitchell Trubisky. And Kirk Cousins, for that matter. All right, do you put Kirk Cousins before Jimmy?
Do you?
The Kirk Cousins I've watched the last 4 weeks. Yeah, I do. Yeah. If you're asking me right in the here and now, yeah,
that's what I love the dynamic about the NFC. You have the quarterback hierarchy.
By the way, Kirk Cousins beat Dak Prescott the other night.
He did. You have the quarterback hierarchy. You have the offensive philosophy, and then you just have the overall teams. And the NFC is stacked right now in all those categories for the contending teams.
So, to your point, all the contending teams except for the Bears have a pretty good quarterback, right?
Yes.
You're saying Dallas and Philly, the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers. You got to put Carolina in the mix. I mean, if you're asking, if you're looking at standings and saying where do people stand, you've got to put Carolina in the mix at 5-4 if you're going to put Philadelphia and the Cowboys at 5-4, right? And, I mean, is Kyle Allen in your mix, or is he just a placeholder?
He'd be the bottom right now.
Below Mitchell Trubisky?
No.
But he's the bottom of it.
Mitchell Trubisky would be the flat-out bottom if you're saying you're last. Like, that's the...
No, that's fair.
Looking for...
By the way, they're 4-5. Are they a contender?
Who?
The Bears?
We can put them on the floor.
Is Jared Goff in there? I mean, if we're putting other 5-4 teams, where's Jared Goff? Well, I mean, if we're putting 5-4 Philly, Dallas, and
Well, even if we're not looking at records, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz better than Jared Goff.
Yes.
But then you start factoring it in, that's the bottom of the barrel. Then you're like, well, I have to talk myself into Jared Goff this week. Kyle Allen, can he continue?
Jared Goff
Kyle Allen is above those guys right now.
Let me just tell you something. I'll give you some stats and numbers, and Kyle Allen's probably going to make you go, wait, really? Which Allen is that? Is that your Allen or which? Wait, what? Passing leaders, and when you just start looking at numbers, like, I mean, I'm not going to tell you he's great. He's not blowing your socks off or anything, but the dude's winning. I guess he's down there in passing yards. All right, he's winning. I think that isn't that the stat that really matters?
It does.
Is that the only one that matters?
But once you get to the playoffs, it doesn't matter what your regular season record is.
Because who's got the most completion? What am I looking at? Yards? You know who's got the most yards? Who'd you say right now, without looking at the numbers? And I'm staring at them. Who are the top 3? And this is why stats don't tell you the story. It's top 3 quarterbacks in passing yardage right now.
It's total yards?
Total yards. One of them's played 10 games. The other 2 have only played 9. But who do you think in total yards?
Jameis Winston, one of them?
He's 3rd. Yeah, he's 3rd.
Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray, no.
A little lower.
No.
I'm interested now.
Phillip Rivers is number 1 right now at 2,800 yards north of that, and Dak Prescott is number 2. How about that?
Prescott's got really good numbers.
So that would have taken me a week to guess that. It would have.
It's because you're just caught up on what that team has done in the past. It's Ezekiel Elliott. They're running the football. It's Dak Prescott this year.
Yeah, and I'm looking down, and Jimmy's like, I can't even. I'm not going to count on the air, but it looks like he's about number 15, and he's 8-1. Lamar Jackson's below him, and they're 7-2. So stats don't tell you anything. Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston are teams that aren't going to the playoffs. Jared Goff's up there, and Kyler Murray. So the stats don't mean much.
Tells you they're chasing a lot of games
unless you're playing
second half
football. Yeah, tells you they're chasing a lot of games, which is a typical San Diego LA Charger thing, right?
London Chargers.
Right? It's a typical London Charger story every single year. All right, get in on last night. Did you watch last night? You can't watch that, huh?
No, I did, but
you did?
I went to sleep.
Did you
I
fall
took
asleep?
Sanjay Gupta's advice from yesterday's.
Which is what?
Go to sleep early. But you need to set your alarm in 90, because our minds sleep in 90-minute increments. So
what's your point?
So I usually get up at 7. So I mean not 7.
How do you get up at 7?
Sorry. Usually I get up at 5, but I set my alarm for 4:30. And hey, I woke up at 4:30 and I'm feeling great.
So I really don't understand what you just told me.
90-minute increments?
So usually I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning is when I set my alarm. So he says whatever time you're going to get up, whatever time you go to sleep, just count 90-minute increments, and then that's when you need to get up. So mine ended up at 4:30, and sure enough, I woke up at 4:30, right? Even before my alarm, because I wanted to test the theory.
What if you don't fall asleep well, and it takes you 25 minutes to fall asleep? Then you're screwed. right?
I didn't take that into
you didn't ask
consideration.
Sanjay, did
no,
you?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what he says
Can you get
today.
Sanjay on the phone?
We need that interview.
Yeah, we need that interview. Oh, I need to know about sleep. So he says whatever you sleep, it has to be in an increment of 90 minutes.
Yeah, or that's the way our body kind of sleeps. And that makes sense because sometimes
Does
I
it?
will wake up at 4:30 and stay there and kind of go back to sleep. And then I just feel worse 30 minutes later when my alarm goes off. And I'm like, and so that makes sense, because our body wants to, cycle in 90-minute increments, I guess.
What about the 20-minute power nap?
Oh, well, that's
I
good.
hear all about during the day.
5-10 minutes, yeah.
Alden, you ever get those over at ProView? Just tells you, I gotta go work on some stuff, dude. I gotta go edit.
What are naps?
Yeah, you get that upstairs room.
Watch out for those alarms, people. They'll get you.
Yeah, alarms are brutal. Yeah, the alarm went off this morning. I'm like, what? Yeah. All right. Who knew? So point is, you went to sleep and didn't watch.
So I watched the third quarter. I watched right to the end, and then I went to bed.
All right.
And woke up to the madness this morning.
It was pretty good football. All right, 2460610. Come on in. The emails are Jeff at 610, KNML.com, JJ at 610, KNML.com. We can go through the AFC. I want to do that exercise with the AFC when we come back. Can we?
Yes, we can.
I'd like that as well. Hey, the holidays are times when you spend maybe a little time away from home. Company parties, holiday events. Many of you will travel out of town, visit family, or whatever it is you're going to do. An empty house is a target for thieves. International Protective Service is a security company providing security officers trained to protect your home when you can't be there. They'll patrol your neighborhood and give your home that lived-in look. Get the mail, take the trash cans to the curb and back, pick up the newspaper if you have one. And if your alarm goes off, IPS will respond with an armed officer in up 5 to 7 minutes. Police may take hours to show up. The bad guys work overtime during the holidays. So does IPS. Put IPS to work for you so your home is not an easy target. Their job is to stop a break-in before it happens. Business owners, you want to take some time off and not worry about your business during the holidays? Call IPS and let them protect what you've worked years to build. Call IPS 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com.
Sports Animal Time is 7:27. Here's another look at Tuesday morning's commute. And right now we just have two accidents to worry about, minor accidents. So first one is eastbound Arenal near Coors, and the other one is southbound on I-25 right at Jefferson. And of course we got that bumper-to-bumper traffic on Highway 550 all the way through 528. So it's going to take some time to get through there. Just be patient, but you'll eventually get through there. If you see an accident, well, make sure to call us on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I just want to see football. I don't want it to be penalty, couple of plays, penalty, and that's what you had. And I'm not sure why the NFL would do that, where you go above and beyond the Call of Duty to call more penalties here. I think if it's obvious, egregious, then call it. But, it's flags interrupting the flow of the game.
Weekdays at 1, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Chorizo breakfast burritos now at Blake's Lottaburger? Is it true? Absolutely. Chorizo is now available in our famous breakfast burritos. You already love our bacon and sausage burritos. It's now time to try our soon-to-be famous Chorizo breakfast burritos. Available at your local Blake's Lottaburger.
Glasheen, Baez, and Inderman Injury Lawyers. When you have one chance to get it right, call the attorneys that deliver proven results. Visit us at gvilaw.com or call right now, 505-243-7200.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold? Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you've been hurt at work, you know how important it is to get your workman's compensation check. But the insurance company's giving you the runaround. Your bill collectors are calling, and you could lose your car or even your home, and it's not your fault. The Fogel Law Firm specializes in workman's comp claims. Workman's comp has its own laws and court. Just any lawyer can't get you every dollar you need to recover. Don't settle for less. Call the Fogel Law Firm and put their almost 4 decades of experience to work for you. 255-9092 or Fogel, Fogel, lawfirm.com. In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quanz has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Go to the Better Collision Repair Shop at Quanz Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quanz better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quanz Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
What's wrong, Santa?
I don't have a gift for Mrs. Claus. She wants her home renovated.
I've got you covered. You need Rudolph's Rockin' Renovations. Win one at Isleta.
Win your share of $1 million in cash, free play, and 16 $50,000 home renovations from Dreamstyle Remodeling.
50 drawings every Saturday and Sunday.
Home, sweet home.
Rudolph's Rocking Renovations.
Now through December 22nd at Isleta Resort and Casino.
Where the fun begins.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco double frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the ultimate unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's best 4G LTE networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less.
Compatible device and SIM required. Excludes the 2-line plan. See straighttalk.com.
The Dan Patrick Show, today at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Big one for the Aggies tonight. They are in El Paso trying to make it 10 in a row over the Miners. In a I-10 rivalry that goes back and back and back a lot of years, but the recent domination by New Mexico State has been stunning. Aggies and Miners. Aggies are 3.5-point favorites at the Haskins Center tonight. Lobos will be in Cruces a week from tonight. You get Lobos Aggies next Tuesday.
Thursday.
Is it next Thursday?
It's UTEP.
UTEP first? I went the other way. All right, so UTEP first, and then the Miners. Miners Tuesday and Aggies on Thursday. Next week for the Lobos. Tomorrow night they get Green Bay. It's the opening drive. Jeff J.J. Hoser producing for you, and Alden over on the television side. Mountain West tonight. Air Force is at Army. Denver at Utah State, who's ranked 17th in the country. Nevada will look to go 2-1. They get UT Arlington tonight. Fresno State on the road at the University of San Diego, and a good opportunity for UNLV tonight. They will be on the road in Berkeley. They play Cal. That's an opportunity at a Pac-12 team. Didn't really give you Sunday's scores. Wyoming, did you see the Wyoming score against South Carolina?
It wasn't surprising.
They got beat by South Carolina 66-32. That was a pounding. Well, okay. I mean, I didn't expect them to win. That's a
you have Hunter Maldonado and
I don't know what else. Yeah, no.
Not a lot there for Allen Edwards, and that's a pretty good South Carolina team with Frank Martin, A.J. Lotton. The point guard really stepped up, and yeah, that wasn't a surprising scoreline for me.
It was 35-16 at halftime. Fresno State at home beat Winthrop 77-74. And San Jose State, after their opening win, got beat at home by Portland 72.
Come on, San Jose State.
57.
How about that win for Fresno State? Last night, Winthrop at St. Mary's, true road win for Winthrop over the Gales.
See? That's Bob Clark. See? So yesterday, that was yesterday's win. They beat St. Mary's. That is a big win, 61-59. Winthrop with the big win. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. I want to do that. Rank your quarterbacks in the AFC because, but it's just the contenders. It would be so. Mahomes and Watson and Brady, is that 1, 2, 3, or where's Lamar Jackson? I mean, you said the NFC stacked. Who's one? Is it Jackson, Mahomes, Watson, Brady? Is Brady fourth in the AFC right now? Is that what you're telling me? Or I mean, how do you do that? Go ahead. I'm listening.
AFC right now, I'm going Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson.
All right. It's a pretty good top four. Yeah, it's a pretty good top four. And then with the rest, as far as contenders go, I think you'd have to go then Josh Allen, Derek Carr, or Derek Carr, Josh Allen, and then Mason Rudolph and whoever the Colts were throwing out. If it's Jacoby Brissett, maybe you bump him up above him. And I guess Ryan Tannehill's got to be in the contenders because they're 5-5. So would he be the floor?
The floor
would be Mason Rudolph, right?
Would be Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. Boy, and their defense has been playing. How about the Minkah Fitzpatrick pickup by them? And they gave a first. And at the time, we went, wow, that's a pretty hefty price. I think they got the better end of that deal.
They absolutely did right now.
Yes. The way Minkah Fitzpatrick's playing, I mean, they got the better end of that deal. It was terrific. All right. So that's your NFL. Want your thoughts on the game last night? Niner fan, I know you're there because, well, you're always there. Niner fan's always there. That's a tough one. Seahawk fan, how you living? Daniel is a big Seahawk fan. Where's Dan? He loves himself some Seahawks. Big night in L.A. last night. First time Kawhi faced the Toronto Raptors since leaving. Win for the Clippers last night at home. Emotional night. Kawhi was 2 for 11. Clippers win the game. Interesting, and it was good to see him. Like that's a Kawhi smile you almost never see after the game when he was greeting his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a smile you never see. You know what I mean? But the final score was 98-88. Toronto's been nice without Kawhi so far, and it was a fourth quarter by the Clippers that got it done.
Clippers are so good.
Yeah.
Like the role players on that team, they don't have Paul George yet.
Yeah.
They play every other game without Kawhi Leonard. Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams. That team is stacked.
Lou Williams balls. Just balls.
And what Doc Rivers has done last year has carried over another season. When they traded Tobias Harris and they're still really competitive, what they have the best role players in the league along with their superstars, the Clippers.
They got 21 points off the bench from Lou Williams. As you said, Montrezl Harrell's giving him great minutes. He also comes off the bench, 14 and 11 off the bench. They got 2 double-doubles off the bench. Green had 10 and 12, and then Harrell had 14 and 11. You had 4 guys in double-figure rebounding for them last night, which I think is huge. And to your biggest point, they still don't have Paul George. They still have. I mean, he hasn't been there yet, and they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, but right now, and then fully healthy, they're the best team. Because a lot of these other teams, it's we have a 3-point shooter, we have a defensive guy. They're not as deep around their superstars as the Clippers are. When you have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George out there fully healthy, there also isn't a better defensive team than those guys on the court.
Pascal Siakam, 16 and 10 for Toronto last night in the losing effort. They fall to 7-3 after the first 10 games, but they're really, really good too. At least they've started off really well. The Celtics won again last night? They did, 116-106. So
and that was a big one for them after Gordon Hayward, just such a fluke hand injury. He breaks his hand running into Marcus Aldridge on a screen. It's like it's just so weird how it happened. Kind of takes a hit on the arm, but his hand flops around, and he ends up going to miss probably like 6 weeks. And Gordon Hayward was playing good basketball. And when you have a devastating injury like that, it's year 2. We saw it with Paul George coming back. It was the second year back that you started to see the basketball player that everyone expected. And Kemba Walker, stepping up in a big way for the Celtics last night. But the Eastern Conference, with Boston, Toronto being those teams chasing right now, Philadelphia and Milwaukee. But then Milwaukee dealing with some injuries. Chris Middleton goes down, so they're going to be without him for a little while. So the East is going to have some of their stars step up and carry the load early in the season.
That's why you load manage. Right? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm kidding.
You can't. If you're Kawhi Leonard, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, he's been an icon in hockey and in Canada for 4 decades. It's over. Why it's over, what he said, and he will not apologize. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Sport.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Scheduled to be with us top of the hour. Aggies coach, they play Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word, by the way, is 5-5. Started out 5-2. They've lost 3 straight one-possession games. A 3-point loss to Northwestern State, a 4-point loss to Nicholls State, and a 7-point loss to Stephen F. Austin. So Incarnate Word going into Aggie Memorial this weekend. Doug Martin due to be with us. I want to get into the Don Cherry story. Danny Dimes, 13 fumbles. Can we call him Danny Drops now?
Danny Pennies?
Danny Drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, goodness gracious, Danny Drops. It's you got to hold on to the football. The Jamal Adams play the other day was like, I'll take that. And then we had a strip at the goal line last night from Metcalf. Took it right out of DJ Metcalf's hands. Dude's just ball hawking in the NFL. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden. All right. You asked me, when was the last time you saw Don Cherry on TV? I mean, we've never really seen Don Cherry on TV a lot down here, have we?
No.
But if you grew up in Canada, Don Cherry is hockey. Don Cherry's 85 years old. He's been doing Hockey Night in Canada in some form or another for 4 decades, 40 years. He says it as he sees it. He is very opinionated. He is all about Canada, right, and hockey. Canadian nationalist, is that fair? Right? Sure. He loves him with Canada. So he was fired by Sportsnet. That's for whom he worked. He had on-air comments on Saturday. Basically pointed at newer Canadians, immigrants, who he felt did not properly honor fallen soldiers. And I guess, is it Veterans Day up there too, or is I don't know what the whole they watched a game in America where they were honoring veterans.
It's like Remembrance Day.
Okay, so on Remembrance Day up there, what they do is they have these pins. They're poppy pins that are sold by veterans, and they're worn basically to symbolically honor those who have served Canadian veterans. And Don Cherry feels that Canadians, newer Canadians, immigrants, are not thankful enough. His quote is this, quote, "I live in Mississauga." That's a place in Ontario. "Very few people wear the poppy. Downtown Toronto, forget it. Nobody wears the poppy. Now you go to the small cities, you people that come here, whatever it is, you love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you can pay a couple of bucks for a poppy or something like that. These guys paid for your way of life that you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price for that," end quote. So basically, and that was part of it. He had said previously that the immigrants don't appreciate the past, essentially, and the people who spilled their blood. So there was backlash, and he got fired. He will not apologize. And I guess at this point, what's he going to apologize if that's how he feels? He said, "I know what I said, and I meant it." That's what he told the Toronto Sun. "Everybody in Canada should wear a poppy to honor our fallen soldiers. To keep my job, I cannot be turned into a tamed robot." They had, with the backlash and the way things are, and the diversity that they pride themselves on, they made the call. Not surprised, knowing Don Cherry a little bit, that he wouldn't apologize, are you?
No. Has an opinion. I think it was, it's one where whatever side you're on of a situation like that, you're going to be entrenched and not like the outcome either way.
The National Hockey League moved as far away from the comments as they could. The mayor of Mississauga, the town which he lives, called Don Cherry's remarks despicable. Quote, "We're proud of the diverse cultural heritage and will always stand up for it. New immigrants enrich our country for the better. We're all Canadians and wear our poppies proudly." That was her quote. Ron McLean is the guy who's been Don Cherry's longtime partner. He gave a thumbs up on air during Cherry's comments. Then he circled back. I don't know if this makes him a tamed robot, but he circled back. He offered apologies on social media. This was the guy who was sitting next to him giving him a thumbs up. Quote, "Don Cherry made remarks which were hurtful, discriminatory, which were flat out wrong. We at Sportsnet have apologized. We know diversity is the strength of our country. I owe you an apology too. I sat there. I did not catch it. I did not respond," end quote. All right. I haven't heard because there's got to be a group of people who support Don Cherry, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of them.
Because we're not in Canada.
Yeah,
dealing with this.
It would be. This would be a big. So what would be analogous here? Al Michaels?
Yeah. You can just go back a year or two and pretty much everything we just saw go down with ESPN and a lot of their stick to sports emails, Jamel Hill, all the stuff that went on. So we've dealt with that.
You think that's pretty analogous here?
Yeah.
Okay. That was, yeah, I imagine. Seems a little different to me, but this, okay. I'm surprised a guy like that, an icon like that, a guy who was, well, I'm not surprised. They had to make a move. At 85 years old, you wonder if they were trying to find a way to get rid of him anyway, right?
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. That's a big deal. If you grew up in Canada, I'd love your thoughts on that because that's part of what you grew up with. There's no getting away from it. If you're up there, that's part of what you grew up with. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. You want another edition of JJ Buck Get Off My Rocks?
Ooh, we got one.
This is from Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy?
Jeff, remember when Monday Night Football used to be Howie, Dandy Don, and Frank? Now we have this crew. They're brutal, just brutal. It makes Monday Night Football hard to watch. What is Dennis Miller doing nowadays? I don't know if I think they're brutal, and I've told you.
I don't either. I thought he sounds good.
Do you like Joe Tessitore?
Yeah.
Okay. You're.
Well, I don't. That's not a game I want to get into because I've been that guy.
Right. No, I know.
It's like who?
I know.
Why is this fool calling a game?
I know.
Is there a crew that anyone likes? The world hates Joe Buck.
See, and I don't mind Joe Buck.
The world hates a Monday Night Football crew. I don't think there's an announcing crew that this country likes.
People love Nance and Romo.
Yeah, of course. Jim Nance, Tony Romo. I think that's it.
People love Nance and Romo.
Like, universally enjoy those guys on the broadcast.
Right.
I think Sunday Night Football is close.
Al Michaels. People,
like
but
that.
people,
That's about it.
People
The
don't
two
like
guys,
Chris Collinsworth. A lot of people don't like Chris Collinsworth.
How come?
I don't know. See, I'm fine. I'm with JJ on this. There's very few crews I don't like because I've done it and I know how hard it is.
Yeah, I know for sure.
And so it's hard for me just to be a critic on that. And you say things in the moment like I think JJ and I both agree. When Booger said, the moment, obviously this is a case of the moment being too big for this young man. The kicker yesterday, I'm not sure. He missed a kick. I mean, it wasn't too big for him when he tied the game up at the end of regulation, right? So he missed a kick. I don't know if I'd have gone there. I think Joe Tessitore, and this is just me, and maybe this is listening to him for so many years, it sounds like college football to me. Joe Tessitore's voice sounds like a big college football game. It does. It still does.
Yeah.
And I think Booger's fine. I don't think he's the best analyst, but he doesn't bother me. There's very few people that I will watch. Again, I told you this. Bill Walton's one of the few. I'll just watch a game because he's calling the game. If I'm going to watch the game, I'm going to watch the game. I really don't care who's calling it. Right? Do you?
I do.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, there's people you just go, what did he just say? But, yeah, this crew doesn't bother me, you guys.
Maybe Adam Deal.
Oh, Adam Deal, look what you just did. That wasn't me, dude.
Whoa, hold it.
For the record, that wasn't me.
He might not be back next week.
Damn, I'm sorry. We're going to need a new producer. Doug Martin's going to be with us when we come back. We'll talk Aggie football. Incarnate Word will be in town this week. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and a Hoser. Alden, you still here? Yeah, he's still here for now. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I am really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
There's money in them walls.
Yes, honey. Does he always talk like that? Ever since we got our home equity loan from Kirtland Federal Credit Union, he's been telling everyone.
Kirtland Federal Credit Union does home equity loans? I thought they were just for the military.
You don't have to be in the military. And it was so easy to apply.
Apply today at kirtlandfcu.org/home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. We're more than military. We're for life. An equal housing lender. Approval based on creditworthiness and other factors. Average of eligibility applies. See your representative for complete details.
Do you want to change your drinking? The ABQ Treat study is looking for volunteers between the ages of 22 and 55 to participate in a research study examining how the brain, behavior, and emotions change after alcohol treatment. You will attend 12 weekly treatment sessions and receive up to $440 to complete surveys and brain imaging over 15 months. For more details or to schedule an appointment, call ABQ Treat at 505-633-8861. 505-633-8861.
What's wrong, Santa?
I don't have a gift for Mrs. Claus. She wants her home renovated.
I got you covered. You need Rudolph's Rockin' Renovations. Win one at Isleta.
Win your share of $1 million in cash, free play, and 16 $50,000 home renovations from Dream Style Remodeling.
50 drawings every Saturday and Sunday.
Home, sweet home.
Rudolph's Rocking Renovations.
Now through December 22nd at Isleta Resort and Casino.
Where the fun begins.
Every Tuesday through Stars and Stripes Salute, we bring you the powerful stories of military service and sacrifice at the 6 p.m. hour. Go to newsradiokkob.com and click on the Stars and Stripes logo. Please share a brief description of a New Mexican currently serving in the military or a military veteran that you feel deserves to be saluted. They'll tell their story on Brand and Vote tonight, and they'll receive a prize package. To our men and women in uniform, past, present, and future, we thank you and salute you. Proudly sponsored by Kirtland Federal Credit Union and Ron Peterson Firearms.
It's Scott Stigler. I'm here with John Seaver of American Leak Detection. John, why do people call you?
Scott, because they want to borrow money.
Come on, seriously.
Well, no, really, it's because they have a high water bill.
But that could be the least of their problems, right?
Yeah, Scott. Water leaks turn out to actually be the leading cause of property damage, far exceeding fire and theft.
So a high water bill might be one warning sign.
You know, I had a customer call me the other day because the walls in her home were cracking, and we discovered a water leak that had been leaking for months near the corner of the foundation of her home.
No one wants that to happen, but that's pretty rare, right?
Well, not necessarily, Scott. You know, 1 out of 10 homes are leaking right now.
1 out of 10? What should people do?
Well, they should call American Leak Detection at 296-1757 and schedule a free water audit.
Free?
Yep, it's free, Scott. Just call us at 296-1757 or look us up at AmericanLeakDetection.com.
American Leak Detection. O'Reilly.
This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Aaron's, we love the holiday spirit. The kindness, the giving, the sharing. For us, that spirit has no season. It's always there, and those doing good all year round. That's why we approve good people other stores won't. Your credit isn't the best? Okay. Need more time to pay? Let's work it out. Want flexible payment options? Sure. Lease-to-own top brands. Delivery is free because good people always deserve better. Aaron's. Easy, beautiful, affordable.
This hour's 4K&A national keyword is FAST, F-A-S-T. Text it to 95819 for your chance to win.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque.
Well, you knew it was going to be tough. Washington State, Alabama opened the season, and then a mid-November trip to Oxford to play Ole Miss out of the SEC. New Mexico State lost on Saturday 41-3. They come home now, 2 at home, Incarnate Word and UTEP over the next couple of weekends before closing out the season, going back east to Lynchburg, Virginia to play Liberty. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us. We'll get back to your phones coming up in a little bit. I want to talk Aggie football, and they got opportunity in front of them. Doug Martin is the head football coach of New Mexico State. He joins us now on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. So I found the silver lining, Doug, and it is you don't have to do that again this year. At least you're done with that.
Man, I hope I don't have to do this again forever. This has been tough. But, our kids played hard Saturday. Jeff played really physical. It was a hard-hitting game. Like a couple of their guys had to come out of the game with injuries. And, we certainly suffered some injuries through that game that's going to affect us moving forward. But, again, our kids played as hard as they could possibly play.
Yeah, I know this isn't the formula, right? To play 3 of these GoFundMe games and go out there and get whatever. But do you think your kids get better? When you look back at it now and you have these opportunities, did your football team get better doing this?
We've gotten to play more physical. I mean, it's hard to say that you're getting better when you're having to play like this and when you've had this many injuries and things like that. Some young guys are getting experience that's certainly going to help them moving forward. Playing that competition and that speed of a game certainly might help you get a little bit better, but it might prove to help us a little bit for next year, but it's certainly not helping us for this year.
Yeah, defensively, they were really good. You only had 193 yards of offense. They had a 606. And I think I saw a quote after the game where you said they're every bit as good as Alabama was defensively.
Well, and we knew that going in. You watched the week before they played Auburn. Auburn could not run the ball on Ole Miss, and then really nobody has. And, they're an exceptional defensive football team. If you flip the jerseys with them in Alabama, you couldn't tell any difference. And, the good thing we did was this first game this year, we hadn't had any turnovers. And I think that's because we did play a pretty physical game. And, Huntley ran over a couple of people and showed what he could do, and we took care of the ball. So if we can do that moving forward the next 3 games, then we'll have some chances there.
Now, Doug, of course, you, the players, you guys aren't going to back down from a challenge like this, but after a game like this one, what is the message moving forward after games like this?
Well, the biggest thing I told the team after the game was, again, we won the turnover margin against an SEC team, which, is what we've been trying to get done all year and haven't been able to do, and it's been our biggest Achilles heel. And we played physical. I mean, I can't tell you again, we hit those guys hard, and our guys, played a really physical football game. Didn't back down from anybody. So, I'm really proud of them for that. And again, the attitude and the effort of our players has been phenomenal all year. There hasn't been anything wrong with that. It's just kind of been our own worst enemy with the turnovers and lack of causing turnovers. And then certainly injuries have played a big key here.
And you mentioned what they were able to do defensively, just the talent they have. Execution-wise, what did you see from your guys? And just is that all it really came down to is just a talent gap?
Yeah, we had a chance to make some plays. We missed 2 deep throws where we had people behind them and, had some opportunities there. But, again, up front, their defensive front is really good. I mean, our offensive line fought their tails off, but we were overmatched up there. And and just about anybody they play has been overmatched. So it's kind of the way that goes.
Doug Martin is New Mexico State's football coach. The talent gap shouldn't be what it was, and you should be able to play now. The next 3 games are interesting, right? You know where you are as far as record, and you also know what's in front of you. And you have an opportunity now, the way it sets up, to have an end of a season where you can build and have some positives going in. And it really starts this week. And I know your kids have to be looking at this one. And your job right now is to go, when you go from Ole Miss to Incarnate Word, not let them play down the competition. This is a 5-5 football team that's lost their last 3, but lost the last 3 in 1-possession games.
Yeah, I mean, Incarnate Word's a winning football program. It's a really good FCS program. They this will be their Super Bowl playing here. And I mean, look, we're not good enough to be overlooking anybody, certainly. So that shouldn't be a concern for us at all. We've got to go play just like we played at Ole Miss, as physical and as fast and as hard as we played there, and take care of the ball again, and then some good things will happen for us.
Yeah, I think the natural, and this is, as a coach, this is kind of what I was getting at. You're playing in Oxford and you're playing Ole Miss one week and you're playing in FCS. Do you have to remind them you're not good enough to look past anyone, or do you think they probably look in the mirror?
No, I think absolutely you have to tell them that, and you have to explain to them, what this is going to be. You're going to have to bring your own energy to this game, and and play play the best game we can play all year is what we need to do, so we get ready to try to finish these last three the way we want to.
All right. Now that you've mentioned redshirt rules, now that you're down to the last three, what do you do as far as you want to win some games and you got winnable games coming up, and you want to give some guys experience as well? How are you balancing that? I got to believe A1 is let's find ways to win and make sure we get these seniors or whoever our best players are out there, but yet you want to get other guys experience.
Yeah, we're trying to get some freshmen in the game. We played actually several at Ole Miss Saturday. Lava Levea, the defensive lineman from El Paso, played for us and played very, very well. We got a few. Juwan Price, running back, played on the special teams, made 2 tackles on the punt team. He's got tremendous speed, and so he's getting a little experience now. And we're going to try to do that with a couple more kids, more on the special teams line than on offense and defense. But you're right, Jeff. It's a great opportunity to get those guys in the game and springboard them into spring ball for next year. But at the same time, you want to win games right now and send your seniors out the right way. So special teams is a great place to get those guys on the field.
Doug, what are you expecting from your offense this week? I've got to believe that you can get more into that playbook and things you want to see from them.
Yeah, we really haven't been able to be what we want to be offensively all year. We're really a throwing team, and we really haven't been this year. We're almost 50-50 run pass, and that's not conducive to us creating big plays. We struggled in the throwing game this year, and that's really rare for us. And so we'd like to get back to doing some of that. But, we've got some injuries coming out of the Ole Miss game we're going to have to deal with, and so that may impact what we're able to do offensively. But, again, we've got special players here, like Jason Huntley and Christian Gibson, and some receivers that can make some plays. So we just got to get the ball in those guys' hands.
Doug, I got to feel these guys are chomping at the bit, huh? This is after everything they've been through. They just want to sing the fight song after a win, huh?
Well, I would hope so, and that's what they've proven to be. I mean, if you watch us practice, Jeff, you'd say, man, that's a winning football team. I mean, they got a lot of energy in practice. They bring a lot of enthusiasm, and I'm expecting them to play well.
Yeah, and you've got the way it sets up, and I like that you've got the UTEP game next week because no matter what the records are, that game's going to mean something. So the way the schedule's set up, I mean, it's been brutal, but you hit now. At least you got something coming down the stretch that you're playing for.
Yeah, we do, and like I say, every week is a new opportunity, a new challenge, and so take this one and just get that monkey off these guys' back and let them go play after that and see what we can do.
And Doug, through a season, you have everything that you're building on, the foundation, your schemes, what you want these guys to implement. How much do you as coaches adjust through the year, game to game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because we've had to really adjust a lot this year and it's real. Most of them because of the injuries. The offensive line has been decimated all year. We've had some wide receivers have been in and out, and so we really had to change, from game to game what we're trying to do offensively, and that's hard, because you don't really get a base and a consistency to work with, and it kind of reflects the stats that we have right now this year. And then kind of the same on defense. You're trying to get better, but at the same time you're trying to give your guys an opportunity to put them in a position to make plays and find those guys that can make plays. Are
you getting some guys back? You had Roy Lopez, Sage Dockstead are maybe coming back for these last three?
Yeah, I think we will have Roy and Sage back now, Jeff. But, like I say, we've got some other guys coming out of the Ole Miss game that I'm not sure we'll have back, and we'll have to see how this week goes in practice.
Yeah, those are physical. You're going to schedule 3 of these every year, huh?
Well, not next year, thank goodness. So this is one of the few years that we're doing that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, and you knew what it was going to be. And now you got these last 3. Go get one this weekend and get a feel good for those kids and for that coaching staff. I know you guys are working hard down there. Appreciate you coming on with us this morning and every Tuesday morning. We'll catch you again next week.
Okay, guys, take care.
Thank you, Doug. Doug Martin is the head football coach at New Mexico State. It's brutal. Right? I mean, you got 3 GoFundMe games, I don't know what else they are. And but now you got opportunity, right? And I guess as a football team, as a player, you're looking at it and saying, all right, those made us tougher. Let's go get one. Don't you just want to raise your helmet and sing the fight song and feel good? So I think that's what these are about. When you're 0-9 now? 0-9. That's what you got to look forward to, and you got a team coming in that hopefully that you can get that done. 246-0610, 888-922-0610. You can respond to what you heard. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
about the rest? Tough schedule for New Mexico State, but what about the rest?
Like which ones? Like UTEP Incarnate Word, Georgia Southern,
Central Michigan.
Yeah.
First Liberty game.
So, except for New Mexico, is there anybody on their schedule with a losing record? Washington State's not. Alabama, San Diego State, Fresno State. Does Fresno State have a losing record right now? They might. Liberty doesn't. I mean, everybody else has a winning record on there.
Well, UTEP doesn't.
Ole Miss doesn't, right? They play. I mean, even take away those big 3 games. Everybody else. Central Michigan is what, 7-win team now?
Fresno State's 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
On
All
the
right.
season.
Yep, but we still think they're pretty good. All right. Or at least, well, they lost by what? Last-second field goal by Dominic Eberle the other day. 2460610. Come on in, 888-922-0610. I was just getting coffee. That's what, and one of the lady sales reps was, talking about the game last night. The San Francisco game. And, yeah, I was in that. I heard about that quarterback. He's supposed to be really something. I'm like, Jimmy? Yeah. She's like, I mean, he's good to look at, but he can't really throw a ball that well, can he? Yeah, he's pretty. He's pretty, but she's like, yeah, but he can't really throw that well, can he? Well, I mean, he kind of he's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's all right. But boy, he's good to look at. That Jimmy Handsome.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo. What happened to the whole?
I don't know. There it is. His back.
Yeah. All right, I got emails for you. Want some?
What are the people saying?
All right.
What are they typing?
I don't even know where to start.
How fast are they
football.
typing?
I got the JJ Bucks get off my rocks.
We didn't get to that one, did we?
Yeah, that was the whole Monday Night Football crew.
Oh, the announcers. Okay,
Yeah,
so we did.
The second most presaged words ever spoken on the OD, Jeff, might be, the world needs new refs. I used to think I knew what roughing the quarterback was. I used to think I knew what pass interference was. Now it seems to change on a weekly basis, even drive to drive. You shouldn't need a rule book to watch a game. Here's what I'm telling you about that. First of all, you're right. The rules have changed since whenever you used to know. The fact, this tells you everything you need to know. The fact that every broadcast needs a rule analyst should tell you that the rules are, why do the rules need to be analyzed? Like, we've made the game, and we, not necessarily you and me or we, but people have made the game so complicated that, and even the rules analysts are like, well, I'm not really sure on this one, and they're not right the majority of the time. The fact that every game, every broadcast crew now needs a rules analyst, does that not tell you enough? Does that not tell you that the rules are too damn complicated?
They're always
too
changing.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
And it goes right back to that ridiculous, terrible roughing the passer penalty called on the Carolina Panthers. Body weight landing on the quarterback, and he rolled to the side, did Gerald McCoy, the Panthers defensive tackle, and that would have forced the Packers at that point in time to probably have to punt from their own end zone, and yet on that drive. Now, that was one right before half, I believe correctly. They were ultimately stopped on a 4th down conversion, but that could have been a huge game-changing play for a terrible call.
Look, we changed the pass interference, this flag rule, because the Rams and Saints game, it was a really bad call, so we had to change the rules. We've got, what is a catch? We go back to Michael Irvin, or Des Bryant. What is a catch? Is that really a catch? Did he have possession? Did he finish the process? What is a catch? Let's change the rules. Tommy got hurt. You can't hit a quarterback at the knees, right? There was one yesterday where Clowney came in high, missed on the sack. Jimmy got away. The next guy came in, and
I saw that
and the quarterback, Jimmy, dropped his head or went down, and so the helmets hit. And I tell you this all the time, the man's head's got to go somewhere, right? You can't detach your head and make the tackle. And so he tried. The defender came in.
So he went low too, right?
He tried to hit him in the strike zone, but the quarterback also at a moving pace.
Yep. Try to go even lower.
He moved, and they hit helmets, and they threw a flag. And I'm like, it would be brutal to be a defender, because I don't know what you can do, both as a defensive back. There are more holding calls. My buddy Scott sends me this text. I mean, every week, it's hard to watch games because flags are flying around like snowflakes in Green Bay.
We just need hug tackles.
Well, I mean, let them play football. It's a dangerous game. It's a collision sport, and you're trying to govern the danger out of a game that you can't take all the danger out. I understand you want to make it as safe as possible, and I'm all for that. And I don't think guys should be leading with their helmets and launching and those sorts of things. But some of these late hits, like, a guy is half a step away and a quarterback throws the ball. How can you possibly tell a man, go full speed and stop? You can't. Hello, Jerome.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm agreeing with you on a lot of those calls, and last night was that same thing. I said, well, he's putting his head down. Where's that guy going to go? Right. He has, no options. What's he going to do, just jump over, leapfrog him, and touch him that way and get him down? The other one that bugs me is when they give a stiff arm. That's like hands to the face mask. That's like just as bad as a offensive lineman or a defensive tackle just putting hands to the face.
Where a ball carrier does that, right? The ball carrier initiates it. Yeah.
Exactly, so that's driving me crazy. But I didn't call for that reason. First, thanks for having Doug Martin on the radio, as always. And, I appreciate his candor in talking about the struggle that the Aggies are having. And, yeah, they played a tough schedule, but there were definitely some winnable games on the schedule, and hopefully they can get, at least the last 3 W's. But we'll see what happens. But I'm calling about a big game tonight with the Aggies against UTEP. And, man, we are the walking wounded on that basketball team.
Both guards are out.
Go ahead.
It sounds like you got 3 starters out tonight.
3 starters, and then Okoroche, he turned his ankle, so I'm not sure how serviceable he's going to be. And Brown, I'm not sure how much he's going to play. So, man, if we're missing 5 guys, maybe it's the UTEP Miners might get us this time. But if it's time to get the Aggies, it might be now, because as we get everybody healthy again, then we're going to be a tough out. But we'll see what happens. I'm still believing in the Aggies, and I'll watch that game tonight, and hopefully we can take care of business and all the other players step up and do what they do in Jan's system and get that W against the UTEP Miners, which is a huge rivalry for Aggie fans. It's just as huge as playing the Lobos. So it should be a fun game to watch tonight.
Aggies have won 10 in a row. Where are you going to watch it? Is it Conference USA TV? Is that where JJ and I were looking? How are we going to find it?
Online.
So I'll tell you a little secret. So there's a guy that's an Aggie guy, and he streams it himself, so you can watch it on Twitch TV for free.
Twitch. You got the Twitch thing? All right.
Twitch. And if you need more information, then text me, and I'll tell you exactly where you can go to watch the games. But that's where I watch all the football games and all the other stuff live. So.
All right. Thank you, Jerome.
Have a good one, guys. Enjoy the show, as always.
See you. Aggies have won 10 in a row over the Miners, which is insane. They've won 5 in a row over the Lobos. They are beat up. And this sounds like, about 2 or 3 years ago, there was a run where Aggie teams were really injured early, and they got healthy going into league play, and so you never really knew how good they were, right? Because they got healthy going into WAC play when the competition basically went to the WAC level, and so they didn't have all of their studs for the Lobo games, for the minor games, for their non-conference games, and it kind of feels that way right now because their backcourt is beat up, and Aurora Kachea is hurt. And by the way, what Rodney Terry's put together at UTEP is pretty decent.
Yeah, they're dealing with injuries themselves. So there should be no excuses in this game against UTEP. While the Miners should be better, Sean Williams, Johnny McCants, Trevelyan Queen, that's enough to compete against the UTEP team that's dealing with some injuries. And the fact that UTEP's best guard last season transferred to your school and is sitting out.
So he can't play.
But
which is kind of crazy in its own right. That's where he went. But that's a big one tonight. It really is a big one on the Aggie schedule, and Aggie fan has been looking forward to this one. And then, it's a fun couple of weeks now for both of these clubs as they start now negotiating into the November.
But this would be a very nice rivalry win with the injuries moving forward. Of course, the upcoming next week, both these teams on the Lobo schedule.
Yep.
And, for New Mexico State having to play the Miners twice and then the Aggies twice. I'm really interested in Sean Williams. He's a transfer from ECU that was granted immediate eligibility, right now averaging 10-3-3 on the season, and he's got a lot of opportunity early to gain confidence with A.J. Harris being out up to 8 weeks, and he's probably a week or two into that. When did he injure his finger? 2 weeks ago?
A couple of weeks
and then, of course, Terrell Brown still dealing with that hip. So.
Chris, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's always an interesting conversation when you talk about the refereeing and all the controversy. You could literally create about a 1-minute video of Detroit Lions game and come up with all of the problems with refereeing, starting with the Megatron non-catch,
the
10-second runoff against Atlanta that ended the game, the flag pickup against the Cowboys, the Flowers 2 hands to the face,
the Lions,
the non-face mask against Rodgers that led to the Hail Mary, the Seattle ball, being punched out.
It's going to take more than a minute.
Yeah, it wouldn't take very long. Yeah, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You could just put a commercial and just decimate the NFL because of how pathetic they are, not fixing their issues. I mean, the Megatron, touchdown that was really a touchdown, that led to all of the rule changes that have really been really so hard to interpret all the time.
Yes.
It just seems that they're reactive to things, just like the Saints-Rams game. Don't get me wrong, that was a horrific non-call.
Well, baseball does the same thing. Look, baseball changed. You can't have collisions of the plate after Buster Posey got blown up. Not Ray Fosse in the 70s, but when Buster Posey got blown up, they changed that. And now you can't block the plate until you have the ball. Right? Remember, you could before.
Yeah. Oh, and think about all of the catchers. As a Detroit fan, we had Lance Parrish, some of the big guys they had back there that just basically ended some of those guys.
Yep.
It just seems like they chase their tail and almost don't care because that the rule changes they did for the Saints Rams.
Yeah,
that's great. It was just, I don't know what the percentage is now, but it was 5 out of 45. And you look at coaches aren't even calling it. There was a blatant call in the Lions Bears game where Hawkinson was clearly pass interfered. 4 or 5 feet before the ball got there. You can see his whole body moving.
Yeah, but they're not giving it to him.
And they picked the flag up. They called it and then picked the flag
Lions.
up.
They hate the Lions. They flat out hate the
Lions. There's more to it than a lot of people think. It's just unlucky, but there's more to it than that. There's a vibe, and I think there's some subconscious thing where the referees just
hate the Lions.
They're also stuck in this tunnel too. But hey, real quick. Lobo basketball. Of course, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm at all the games. That was a pretty good step forward. It wasn't, again, you can talk about the first half where they, the first 12 minutes, there were some early threes and stuff where they just didn't look as good as they can. But after that, they adjusted before halftime, and I thought they played pretty solid defense. And if they can make some steps early and then smaller steps along, the second half of the season, I think this could be a really, really pretty good team.
Totally agree. Chris, got to hit this break. We're late for it, but thanks for the call. It's they hate the Lions. See, what'd you tell me? Everybody who does a national game, they hate your team, but he's got a pretty good reel of stuff against the Lions. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is 8:28. Here's another look at this morning's commute. Right now we have a new accident northbound Coors right at Paseo, and we have still one from earlier eastbound Arenal near Coors, and of course the bumper-to-bumper heavy traffic on 550. If you see an accident, make sure and give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
There's a new home for Lobo Talk, and you're listening to it.
Lobo Talk. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy.
Catch the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Every week as he talks with Lobo coaches, players, and more. Lobo Talk, Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Are you thinking about getting your kids any new devices for the holidays? You're going to want to hear this first. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent. Not all screen time is created equal. If your children are actively engaged, learning something, time on a phone or tablet or computer can be time well spent. But if their screen time takes away from sleeping, exercising, studying, socializing, that's when you start to have a problem. Now, the latest recommendations from the American Academy of Pediatrics say no screen time for kids under 18 months. Preschoolers should be watching only quality programming, and they benefit even more if you watch those shows with them and interact. By the time your kids are in school, you're going to want to set some consistent limits on screen time, and consistency is key. Also, don't forget screen-free times and zones, like before bed and at the dinner table. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Jeff Siembieda here for my friends at New Mail Medical Center. I've been telling you about them for a while now, and here's why. Because they're the innovators. Anytime you have an original idea, an original concept, you've got someone who comes along and they see the success of the original concept. They try to make it their own. And unfortunately, it's usually just a cheap imitation. Well, not with New Mail Medical, because they're the ones who got out in front of this. Testosterone replacement, ED treatments, they're the ones who have been leading the way in the nation for sexual health procedures and providing thousands of men in the Albuquerque area alone with that help. New Mail Medical, it starts with your first visit, and they're going to be with you every step of the way. Call them at 505-652-1688. When you go there, your first visit, you will feel very comfortable. You'll be relaxed knowing they're going to be with you, guiding you with whatever you need, any issue you may have. They're going to be the ones helping you from here on out. Go to newmail.com, NUMALE.com, or call 505-652-1688. That's the number. Don't see a cheap imitation. Go to the originators.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Get extra strong for your South Pole. Charmin keeps your undies whiter than the North Pole. A shiny hiney, a brand new year. Call it a Charmin, Happy New Year. May your holidays be Charmin, clean, merry, and bright. May all your undies be Charmin, clean white.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
You've been hurt at work. The workman's comp checks are supposed to be coming in, but they're not. The bills are piling up and no one seems to care. You have a friend in the Fogel Law Firm. In New Mexico, workers' compensation has its own court, and you need a lawyer that specializes in workers' comp. Personal injury lawyers don't have the expertise for workers' comp claims. Call the experts at the Fogel Law Firm to review your case for free. Call 255-9092 or visit Fogel, Fogel lawfirm.com.
Call us up at 246-0610 or 888-922-0610. Brought to you by Quan's Auto Care, Collision and Mechanical Repair. We make it better. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
For plumbing, maintenance, and repairs in your bathroom, kitchen, or laundry room, call Roto-Rooter. With 80 years of plumbing experience, Roto-Rooter will make things right. Roto-Rooter. On time, on budget.
Napa know-how. Now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Because when you put safety first, your equipment shouldn't be second rate. So upgrade to Napa Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
There's a difference between do it yourself and do it for a living. At the Home Depot, we get that. And we're here to help pros get the whole job done better and faster. Get the lowest price on the things you need with bulk and volume pricing. Then get it all where you need it and when with buy online, pick up in store, or job site delivery. You save time and money. When you've got a job, we're on the job. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
The Jim Rome Show. Up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Dolphins have made a decision. Quarterback for the rest of the year, at least until somebody gets hurt or they lose a couple. I don't even know what that means. Dolphins make big decision for rest of season. Really? Or until they lose a couple and he gets hurt, or what?
Slow headline day.
Yeah, I'll tell you who that is. 246-0610-888-922. I know.
Can't wait. I'm sticking around till 9:30.
I'm going to give you the stat. All right? You want a stat on the Dolphins? The Dolphins have the longest current winning streak in the NFC East.
What are they doing?
Huh? The Miami Dolphins have the longest current winning streak in the NFC
That
East.
front office is
Never
like, come on, team.
give
You're taking
up.
us out of the future.
Not the New England Patriots. Not Tommy. Oh, no. Not the New York Football Jets or the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins have the longest current winning streak in the NFC East. You don't.
No days off.
Have some of that. Hello, Joe. How you living?
Hey, pretty good, Jeff. It's Joe Cordova. Just wanted to touch base with you guys on the Aggie UTEP game.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware that UTEP beat Texas Tech about 30 days ago in an exhibition game down in El Paso?
Yeah, we had heard. I read that they played one of those closed scrimmages, and UTEP played really well.
Yeah. I mean, and Tech's ranked 11th right now in the nation, and I know Chris Beard didn't put the rest of the first stringers toward the end of the second half, but UTEP looked really, really good against Texas Tech, and I think the Aggies are going to have their hands full, especially being shorthanded. I think the Miners will take down the Aggies. Based on what I saw on that exhibition game.
And then the Lobos get them next Tuesday.
Yeah, so UTEP is not going to be the pushover that they were in previous years. I think it's going to be an exciting game at the pit as well. And, the fact that the Miners have that signature, granted it's an exhibition game, but I tell you what, they look pretty strong.
Yeah, obviously didn't see any of it, but I read about that. Joe, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man.
You and I both agree Rodney Terry's the right guy.
Right? UTEP is going to be much better this season than they were last year. Rodney Terry is a good coach, recruits very well. Just go back to what he was able to do at Fresno State. I'm just looking at this game, and even with the Aggies' injuries, I don't think it's woe is us. They're going to flip the script and beat them by a double digit. I still think it's going to be a competitive game because I think the Aggies are still talented even without their top two guards.
And this is really I guess both their first, right? I mean, they beat Highlands. Yeah,
beat D2 opponents open this season.
Yeah. And then they get, what a crazy schedule for UTEP. They play Highlands, New Mexico, Highlands, New Mexico State, Eastern New Mexico, then New Mexico. And then what is ECENT?
Central University, baby.
What are they? And then New Mexico State. Like what a weird schedule for them, huh?
ECU.
Wow. All right. Yeah, they don't play. I mean, they play the Aggies twice and the Lobos in Houston. No, Houston's
that's a new one.
What?
East Central University.
I don't even know what that is. Do you? East Central. East Central. I'm going to guess East Central Texas.
It's in Oklahoma.
Is it Oklahoma?
Oh, there you go.
All right. East Central. And Ada, Oklahoma?
Ada,
Oklahoma.
Ada, Oklahoma.
All right, then. That's good. I think Joe's right. I mean, UTEP's going to be nice. And they're a lot better. And you got to give them a shot in Conference USA this year. Right? But,
that's a huge step forward for them. I don't know if they're competing for a conference.
Well, so middle should be
I don't expect them to go winless on the road like they did last year.
That's crazy, too. Yeah, I think it's a big step year. He's got some of his players in. He's still making the transition from what was in there before. And Tim Floyd quitting on a Monday after losing to Lamar.
Right.
It's still, to me, one of the most bizarre resignations ever that I've ever seen. Like, especially at that place. All right, come on in, 2460610. I'll give you the Dolphins, what they decided to do. The Dolphins. I got a bunch of emails for you as well. The longest current winning streak in the AFC East. I'm not lying to you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is 8:39. Here's your final look at Tuesday.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger.
Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick.
Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? 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 Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits and not just a job at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
All right, I got Lady Lobos basketball for you tonight here on the radio. 6:30, they're at the Pit. Houston is in town. Joshua Sushan, and I believe Nikki Heckroth-Lobato. We'll crack the microphone for you from Albertson's Market Radio Row here on the Bank of the West pregame show. Is that all still accurate?
I believe so.
All right, at 6:30. Tomorrow night, Lobo men's basketball over on the Motherships, 770 and 94.5 FM. News Radio KKOB, Lobos and Green Bay Phoenix. You're like, what? Green Bay Phoenix? Well, what the? Phoenix is here and they're playing Green Bay. What?
Phoenix, right?
Yeah, Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers will be in town tomorrow with the Green Bay Phoenix to play the Lobos. 2460610. I'm kidding. It's a Green Bay Phoenix. It's a team out of the Horizon League. That's what. Yeah. All right. Because somebody's gonna go, what?
Hey, no.
What did he do? Does he? Siembieda said no. All right. Bruce said, "Boy, when ProView put up that picture of Fearless Dougie, Jeff, I thought it was you in a crimson shirt."
Oh, okay.
What
See,
picture
Alden?
did he
Add it
put?
to the list.
I know all the bald white guys look alike.
Bald white guys. Got Mick Cronin, got Doug Martin, got Jeff Siembieda.
Now, Cronin is more.
You know who's
I got a PJ Fleck the other
honorary member? Absolutely. Top of the charts. PJ Fleck, Minnesota. Row the boat.
Yeah, I got a P. So he wears these quarter zips. If I
Yes.
put a tie on, I got a PJ Fleck the other day. Yeah.
Google PJ Fleck. Let's get that photo up there.
See, all bald white guys look alike.
Bald white guys.
I know. I got it.
One and the same.
Yeah, we're all the
With
same.
the PJ Fleck mix.
Yeah, that's right. We're all.
You guys do have a very similar style, you and PJ.
Okay. There's Doug. We look alike. Like that one? Oh, I guess it doesn't work that way. Like just like that?
That is definitely Doug before 3 money games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right. Lobo Hobo says, Lobo football just can't catch a break, Jeff. Here we go. Last night I heard Ronchetti say after another amazing coming weekend, next week the high pressure moves over here and the storm track dips down. That could mean disaster not only for the rescheduled contest against Air Force, but issues could linger into the Thanksgiving weekend senior night against Utah State. Could. I understand. All right, I told you the Dolphins made a decision on quarterback for the rest of the season. They're going with Fitzmagic.
Thank you.
So is the Josh Rosen thing over? Like
Miami, apparently.
So that's strike 2. What does it mean? Is he going to get a shot? He was like the number 10 pick in the draft, right?
Yeah. It was a move that
is he going to get a shot anywhere? Is what I'm asking.
Initially, like, okay, Miami throwing it out there, young guy, maybe they can steal Josh Rosen and then they don't have to invest in a quarterback moving forward. But they were so bad that they didn't even want to let Josh Rosen play because he was struggling. And you knew Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to be better in practice. He was going to have better moments in games because he's a veteran quarterback. He's been there, done that in this league. And so it's going to be a move that turns out to be for nothing because I don't see Miami necessarily re-signing Josh Rosen and trying to run this back. If anything,
no, they got 3 first-round picks.
They're taking a quarterback in the first round and moving forward. I think Josh Rosen, to salvage his career, he's got to go to a place where there's an established quarterback. He's got to sit behind Drew Brees. He's got to sit behind Tom Brady. Like just a chance to try to do something along those lines. Because I don't see him going anywhere. Right. No team is going to sign Josh Rosen and be like, yeah, compete for a starting job.
So the Josh Rosen thing for me, because I think you're right. And you said Breeze, Brady, I'm going to give you Rivers as well.
Yeah.
Right? If he goes to the Chargers, if he goes to New Orleans, because I think Teddy Bridgewater's out of there. Who's the backup today in New England?
Jared Stidham.
All right, fine. Right? That's a spot. I don't know that there's many others, to be honest with you. But I agree with you because to throw him into another growing situation, nobody's going to take a shot in that mode. He's going to have to go be a backup and go that route. And I don't know enough to know if it's because of Josh Rosen or it's been circumstance for him. You know what I mean?
It's circumstance. Arizona was a disaster.
He's been in 2
fired
disasters.
Their head coach after 1 year.
Well, this is a disaster too.
They were never felt like they were all in on Josh Rosen, like we've seen with Kyler Murray, like we've seen with Lamar Jackson, like talented guys that the offense is built around and catered to. And you go to this position in Miami, first-year head coach, what are they really doing? He is not thinking about development. Brian Flores right now is like, we've won 2 in a row. Ryan Fitzpatrick, here we go. So it's circumstance. It's his play hasn't been good, but how could it be on those 2 teams to this point in time? And he's not going anywhere to get a chance to start. It's his best case scenario would be to sit behind a veteran quarterback and just be a backup.
There was a guy the year before he came out was thought to be the number 1 pick in the draft, and he can't get on the field in the NFL. Which okay, and I haven't seen enough of Josh Rosen in a fair situation to know if he's any good or not. I have no idea, and I don't know that anybody else does.
Also, too, I would say it's not like a lot of these other high picks are in fair situations, like Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. Like if you're
sticking with
but if you're a high pick, you're going to be on a bad team,
right? So. But Sam Darnold, they surrounded him. I mean, they brought in Le'Veon Bell. Mm-hmm. They have Robbie. They have a couple players around him. Kyler Murray's got a Hall of Fame receiver. They've got pretty good running back.
As did Josh Rosen last year.
Yeah, fair enough. The running back went there last year. He was hurt.
But the running back, too, they have in Arizona is one he had in Miami.
Kenyon Drake.
30.
Yeah. Yep.
It hasn't been Josh Rosen's best years.
It's the opening drive. We got another hour to go. Let's hear from you. 2460610. I got a Jason email.
22.
Aggies and Miners tonight. Lobos go tomorrow. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ Hoser, and Alden on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal.
One Radio Network. And then there were 0. The 49ers no longer undefeated after falling in overtime to the Seahawks 27-24 on Monday Night Football. Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo both faced intense pressure, each sacked 5 times with an interception. The 49ers were able to force overtime with a 47-yard Chase McLaughlin field goal at the end of regulation, but it was Russell Wilson who was able to get the Seahawks in position for the game-winning 42-yard Jason Myers field goal with 4 seconds left in overtime. The NFC West remains tight as the Niners fall to 8-1 and the Seahawks improve to 8-2. The Seahawks got the win, but they didn't leave Santa Clara unscathed. Pete Carroll saying wide receiver Tyler Lockett suffered a lower leg contusion that they're looking at. It will be okay, but a pretty severe situation for right now, he says. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Paid for by Case Legal Media. Attention farmers and landscapers. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or other forms of cancer after being exposed to weed killers such as Roundup? The manufacturers of these products failed to warn the public of potential cancer risks and hid the information as proprietary trade secrets since 1981. You may be entitled to significant compensation. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 800-684-9836 for your free legal consultation. Again, that's 800-684-9836.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to wavebestwater.com. That's wavebestwater.com.
4K a day. Your chance to win big just by listening to us. Listen weekdays for the national keyword at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. When you hear it, text the keyword to 95819 and you could win $1,000. What can you do with the money? Anything you want. Message and data rates may apply. 4K a day, sponsored locally by Fiesta Kia. A huge selection and a doggone great deal. Get ready to win on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quanz has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Go to the Better Collision Repair Shop at Quanz Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quanz better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quanz Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Take a good look around your office. Chances are it could use a little rearranging. Maybe a new chair here or there, a few new desks, maybe a file cabinet or two. Or wait a minute, let's just trash the whole thing and start all over again. There you go. That's thinking big. And at Albuquerque Office Systems, you can make it happen. I mean, you can call Albuquerque Office Systems at 345-2824 and have Joey Apodaca or any associate come evaluate your office for new or remanufactured modular office cubicles, as well as all office furniture. Or you could just go to their website, aosabq.com, and start from scratch. That's aosabq.com. You know, it's been said that new office equipment can increase productivity by 20%. Imagine that. So for a more productive working environment for your employees, visit aosabq.com or call 345-2824. That's aosabq.com or 345-2824. Albuquerque Office Systems. Do your part. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque, the sports animal.
My name is Jim. Hi, I'm Jim.
We got a new character.
I am Jim.
Jim Siembieda.
Here, I'll come to your whatever.
Welcome to the opening
I
drive.
am Jim. It's the opening drive. Me and these guys. Alden, you're Alden, right? You could just be Alan and JP and Jose and Jim. See?
Jose.
What's up, Jose?
With an H.
Hey, JP, how you living? You all right? A lot of people call you. Hey, is JP going to do? I'm like, what? Whatever. We're all good. Call me what you want. Just what is it? Don't call me late for dinner. Or happy, or the sweet deals. Don't call me late for sweet deal like you the other day when you didn't get Taco Cabana.
Yeah.
It's opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Josue, and Alden. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Of course, you can watch the show on Comcast Channel 26, ProViewNetworks.com, or any of their social media outlets. Of course, just go to our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and you can watch the show there. Got emails come in. We've been talking about the big football game last night. It was entertainment. 27-24, overtime, 4 hours. Seahawks, 27, 49ers, 24. Jimmy Garoppolo, not great, but decent. Russell Wilson made some mistakes and led a drive that led to a field goal at the gun to win the game for Seattle. First loss of the year for the San Francisco 49ers. They popped the cork wherever there were old 1972 Miami Dolphins. There will not be an unbeaten team in the National Football League this year. Good football game. I don't know if it was great. It was really entertaining. I don't know if it was instant clap. Borderline great. It was really, really entertaining, high-drama football last night.
Yes. Overtime game, 2 division teams going for the division, going for a first-round bye, the schedule ahead for the 49ers, how big a moment that was. In overtime, the mistakes both ways, and then the missed field goal, the interception from Russell Wilson. It was good football.
Yeah.
Good football game.
Yep, and then you had Booger saying, oh, obviously the moment was too big for that young kicker. I don't know, man. The moment wasn't too big for him a few minutes before when he nailed the tying field goal to send it.
Sometimes you shank it in the worst possible moment.
Yeah, and that was a shank. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff at 610knml.com. JJ at 610knml.com. You can find us on the Twitter _JJ Buck and on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Women tonight, Houston will be in the pit to play the Lady Lobos. James wants to talk about that. He says, I expect it to go like every other Houston contest. The team from South Texas will start out okay, but by mid-second quarter, they will be sucking for air here in the altitude. P.S. Another rule I don't understand. We're talking earlier about NFL flags and rules and officiating, and he says, I don't understand in the grasp. Yesterday, Wilson's legs were still driving, but they called him down even though he had escaped for a 5-yard gain. That goes against what I heard a few plays earlier when they said the refs were instructed to let the play out and let replay sort it out. So that play doesn't matter because Russell Wilson bailed them out. But there was a sack where Russell Wilson got away, and they called him down because they blew the whistle in the grasp. It ended up being a 3rd and 16 where Russell Wilson made something happen on the next play. But if they'd have had a punt and lost that game, that would be one of the main topics of conversation this morning, would be that call, that sack, that in the grasp, right?
Yeah. It's overprotecting the quarterback.
Yes. And so do you officiate different quarterbacks differently?
You can't.
Well,
like you can't, because then that goes even back to the struggles that Cam Newton has had the last couple of seasons. Like, I never get calls because I'm a big quarterback, so people think they can just hit me whenever.
Russell Wilson should have the opportunity to get out of that in the grasp right there, shouldn't he? He wasn't tackled.
Every quarterback should.
Well, Tommy might not be able to get out of that. Phil Rivers might not be able to get. He might.
Okay.
He might. If Phillip Rivers probably would go down as well.
I think it's all judgment. Yeah. You have to look at it and say, is the quarterback actively trying to get
all
away?
Right, so explain in the grasp to me, because I don't think I understand it anymore. Obviously, you don't either.
No.
Can you get Mike Saratori or whatever?
But I also don't think then, as a ref in your head, you can go, "Oh, this guy's athletic. I'm going to wait and wait." Like I just, then you're even just making.
But don't you say the guy's still moving and he's
but that should be
out?
the case for every quarterback then.
Okay, I agree with that. No, I agree with you on that.
That should be the standard.
And so that was a bad call? Do we agree then that was a bad call? Mm-hmm. Because if Russ Wilson doesn't make a great play rolling out of trouble on 3rd and 16 and complete a pass down the right sideline, and then they go on and lose that game by a field goal, we're having a big conversation this morning, not about field goals, not about Jimmy G, but we're talking about an in-the-grasp call that cost Seattle an opportunity to win a game, right? I always tell you, though, calls don't change the outcome. And I'll go back to the New Orleans Rams game and remind you what happened after that bad call. New Orleans let the Rams go down the field, kick a field goal, won the coin toss, got the ball to begin overtime, threw an interception, let the Rams get into field goal range, and the Rams kicked the field goal. That call in the New Orleans Rams game didn't cost them the game. Now, it certainly cost them an opportunity to kick a field goal and win the game at that moment. But what did they do afterwards? The call last night on Russell Wilson could have been a decider, but what do you do afterwards when Russell Wilson went out and made a play, right?
Yes.
And there's always what happened after what could have happened, right? And in that situation, Russell Wilson probably really saved them. This one says luck. Not as in Andrew, but luck, HB says. Jeff, it's just so hard to predict a season because of the impact of luck. When Lobo football was 8-4, and we're 9-4 in 2016, I think they had the same two deep for the New Mexico Bowl as they did for South Dakota, except for Garrett Adcock. They played a lot of clubs who weren't as good on the field as they looked on paper. Every bounce and every missed field goal seemed to go their way. This season, they've had a number of injuries, more at what you would expect at this level. Every ball seems fumbled into the hands of the opponent. Teams like Liberty and San Jose State are better than they looked on paper in August, and that really helps explain 2-7. An injury here and a play there in the records of 2016 and 19 clubs could easily be reversed. I don't know if you would reverse them, but yes, luck plays into it. And I think you make your own luck. The 2016 season, they won 2 games at home, JJ. That was the year they went 9-4. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the year Hawaii came in and missed a field goal down at the south end zone? And helped Lobo football stay in a game, and they went down to 1. And then Utah State at the north end zone, if I'm not mistaken, again, I think it was a 14-13 game. They missed a field goal going in the north end zone, and Lobo football won that game as well. They were healthy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this year, I mean, I go to the Liberty game, and I go to Tavaka scrambling on that mark where we all thought it was a first down, and they marked it short, right? That was a tough one. I mean, I don't know how many close games we're really looking at. San Jose State, you can talk about a couple of
second half against Nevada.
Yeah.
Where the offense disappeared as it has at points this season.
I don't know how much luck had to
No, it's not. But also to that point, when you're good, you create your own luck. You're in positions to benefit from situations like that.
Can't agree with that more. Can't agree.
You're not lucky if you're down 40-20 in a game.
Yeah.
So you have to be good enough to be in position to benefit from a missed field goal.
Yep. Oh, that's right. But HB, you're right. Look, the ball bounces, and it's the only ball in sports. Now the puck is different. That isn't round. The bounces strangely, right? You know where otherwise. I mean, outside of a hockey puck, you don't get a lot of odd bounces. Now you get a bounce in baseball because it hits a piece of the cut in the grass or something. But right. But for the most part, balls are round. Not this one. It bounces in weird ways, man. Watch a punt. Watch just watch guys, grown men, try to fall on a football. And watch it squirt away. It's a different game. But, yeah, how the ball bounces, luck, sometimes it's got to even out for you. And in that 9-4 year, it evened out in a way that was really beneficial. I want to tell you about Kirtland Federal Credit Union because they've been in our community for over 60 years. You might know them as great supporters of the military, and they are. But Kirtland Federal Credit Union is more than military. Kirtland Federal Credit Union knows Albuquerque. With 3 branches and a dedicated home loan center right in the heart of town, they are your neighbors. Kirtland Federal Credit Union understands where you're from, and they will get you where you want to go. Banking, loans, credit cards, mortgages, every bank and credit union have them. It's the experience that sets Kirtland Federal Credit Union apart. You aren't a transaction, you're a neighbor, and that's something special. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is a strong, stable credit union you can rely on. They are federally insured by the NCUA, and you can trust them with your everyday banking and loans and credit needs. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is Albuquerque. They love green chili. They love green chili burritos. They love the early morning balloon flights. All the things that you like, they love as well. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. They're more than military. They are for life. Get started today at kirtlandfcu.org. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
There's a new home for Lobo Talk, and you're...
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234.
Fascinated with Jeff?
Nope.
Is the word fascinated. I use that way too much. But
nope. I'm fascinated with the word fascinated.
Or fantastic.
The way we analyze things in the moment, but we're so caught up on the future and the past at the same time. And let me explain. Tonight's college football playoff rankings, a lot of excitement. Minnesota going to make the jump. Where's Alabama going to fall? Yes, it will play itself out. But I was sitting here yesterday, and if Clemson had not won the national title last year, if you put Clemson and Minnesota side by side right now, who should be ranked higher?
Probably Minnesota. Well, why Minnesota? Because of their one win? Yeah, fair enough. Minnesota. Okay.
But I just think it's, we are so caught up in preseason rankings and thinking ahead at times that sometimes the moment gets away from us.
But I mean, you could also make the argument for Clemson, say margin of victory. Yeah, they haven't beaten anybody. They slipped by North Carolina, but look what they've done since. They've been beating the living tar out of people, and you could go back.
Who would Clemson be without the national title last year? And that's why
they'd be an undefeated ACC frontrunner right now, and they'd still be in the top
Are they better
five.
than Baylor? And if you're without winning the national title last year.
What had they done last year? Like, where would they have come from? So you're right. What happened last year certainly matters.
And that's what I was just thinking with the
they're
rankings.
Beating the tar out of people, and Baylor's not. Baylor slipped by a marginal TCU team. Minnesota went double overtime with a very marginal Fresno State team, and 3 points over Georgia Southern. So I think you could still make an argument that Clemson's better than both of them.
Yeah, but it would not be this shoe-in.
Correct.
That
Correct.
they're that many spots better. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, I gotta embrace college football debate. That's where we're at. We have the college football playoff rankings. This is the way it is. You got to buy into it. But those are some of my hesitations when looking at the rankings, is because last year plays such a huge factor into the next year, and I want to take that out of it. I want it to be about this season.
Don't you think it'll all sort out at the end? See, that's why the rankings that come out today, last Tuesday, next Tuesday don't really matter. I mean, don't you think it'll all?
Well, they matter for keeping in there, keeping that one-loss team close, keeping that team that gets to play in the SEC title game with a loss close to the end. To where if you're a one-loss Pac-12 team, whatever, we don't like you. Peace out.
Yeah, because you play out there. Ray, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Excellent. How you doing, Ray?
Hey, pretty good. Say, first of all, I want to compliment you, Jeff, and Coach Davey for talking through the situation at UNM with regard to Najee Flowers. You guys just handled it beautifully over the radio, and I appreciated hearing about it. It was, while it was hard to listen to, it was just so pointed and really good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. JJ and I talked a lot about how how we
and
handle that.
I beg your pardon, JJ. I didn't mean to leave you.
Yeah, no, and we talked a lot about how. I mean, that wasn't just another Monday morning, and so certainly sensitive, and I think we were going to take Bob's cue on that in a lot of respect too. But thank you.
Yeah, he was just wonderful, and I just love Coach Davey, and I know he probably needs to be replaced, and I'm sorry about that, but that doesn't change what I think about him personally. Let's move on. Lobo basketball. Hey, we all have to like what we see right now, in that I think Coach Weir's emphases are in the right places. Half-court defense, taking care of the basketball, rebounding, and working the ball inside on offense, not being so darn dependent on the three-point ball. I love their athletes. I love their talent. Hopefully it'll carry forward. And it really has to, in terms of it has to carry forward early because, you know, a lot of folks are talking about, they're going to have some, they may have a few rough spots early. They may drop some games they shouldn't. Well, if they're going to make the NCAA tournament as an at-large, and it isn't necessarily true that they have to, they could win in March in Vegas.
Right, but you want to set up to be in an at-large
position.
position.
Yeah, you're going to have to win now. And, you know, looking ahead, I know we're not supposed to.
Go ahead, look.
But we do, and, you know, I'm assuming we're going to win these next two games, and we've got to split UTEP and MSU, that two-game set coming up. We have to split that one, that road trip.
Interesting.
But you know, I think it sets up, and in the Barclays in Brooklyn, I think they got to win a game. I absolutely. I think they could get through the pre-conference. I think their schedule is just strong enough that they could maybe get through with 2 losses.
So you think if they split these games next week and lose to Auburn and beat Richmond, is that going to be enough for you? You think
it would be enough for me. I hope it would be enough for the committee, but I think it's a good place to be at this point.
All right.
And you know, changing gears again, Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, as you know, I'm a big Steelers guy. They've got the best defense they've had in 11 years since 2008. And thank goodness they do.
Yes.
Minka Fitzpatrick is just awesome. Bud Dupree's finally playing like Bud Dupree was supposed to all of these years. T.J. Watt's wonderful.
Yep.
Devin Bush he's kind of tapered off a little, but the kid is he's a hell of a linebacker and he's contributing big time. They had a big loss when they lost to it, the defensive lineman. He was their best defensive lineman up to that point. But you know, if the season ended right now, they're among the 6 teams in the playoffs in the AFC, and they've got a real hard one Thursday night. The Browns in Cleveland. That is going to be one heck of a tough game.
It's going to be a show there, and they're going to be ready for that. All right, man.
I'm just hoping. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate
it's
it.
good to hear you, and it's really good thoughts. First of all, on his Steelers are good. You think if Lobos split the UTEP Cruces trip, lose to Auburn and beat Richmond, it's going to be enough to start building their resume?
No.
Does it matter which game they would split? They would lose if
you want to have any thoughts of, oh man, maybe an at-large, you got to beat Auburn.
Is it Auburn or Wisconsin?
It's Auburn.
Okay. But Auburn was a Final Four team. I mean, certainly it helps. You think if you want to have any thoughts, you have to beat Auburn because you don't think there's anything else on the schedule
because then
that puts you in that position.
Wisconsin, if you play Wisconsin, means they just lost to Richmond.
That's right. That's exactly what that will mean. But
then
they'll have a lot of chances.
You beat a name.
But they'll have a lot of chances in their Big 12 or their Big 10 season to become a quadrant one, or what do we call these today?
Quad one win.
Thank you. So you think you've got like
Auburn's better. Auburn's right now on paper the best team in that tournament.
Agreed.
Auburn at the end of the year will have the best resume of those teams.
Okay. Is Auburn ranked right now? Does it matter? I guess it doesn't really matter.
24th.
I'll give you 24th, exactly where they are. Yeah. 24th, 23rd. It depends which poll you look at. I look through the schedule, and I wonder where else you're building your resume, right? And it's going to depend how good UTEP is. It's going to depend how good New Mexico State is as far as what they do in Ken Palm rankings or whatever the metric is. His point, I don't know that you could lose to New Mexico State, beat UTEP, lose to Auburn, beat Richmond and now say you're building a resume for an at-large. I don't know what now. You'd have to win at Utah State at that point. You'd have to win at San Diego State at that point, right? Because what else is on the schedule that you're looking at? Am I missing something?
No.
Auburn's big.
It's Auburn. Yeah, that's
2 weeks from yesterday, right? 2 weeks from yesterday at the Barclays Center. That's a big, big game. What's the television on that? Do we know? That's not an ESPN tournament.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. The Legends. That'd be actually Auburn is 13th, and what's this rank? And the net. So that's pretty right. I mean that matters. And the net rankings are 25th, or I'm sorry, 13th. 13th. So
Wisconsin, still looking at.
I see Wisconsin at 20 in the net.
68 team, but I think they're really going to struggle in Big Ten play this year. So it's Auburn. It's team you play for sure.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting after that. You don't know what you're getting. So yeah, go get Auburn. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Get you some more emails. Take your phone calls. We can get more into Lobo basketball tomorrow. Green Bay is in town.
The thing to do would be beat Auburn and then play Wisconsin.
Yeah.
If they get past Richmond, there you go.
Well, now what if you sweep next week's trip and you beat both of those teams? Now you're looking at a ranking. Now all of a sudden
might be able to start penciling in some stuff.
That's right. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
Is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I am really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is a incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
It's dark when you head home from work. Maybe you're traveling for the holidays. Your home could be a target for burglars. Scott Stigler here for Windsor Door Sales. Rolling shutters are a huge deterrent to the bad Santas who try to break in. Business owners love rolling shutters from Windsor Door Sales, and you'll love interest-free financing and the peace that comes with a secure home. Call 345-6604 or visit WindsorDoorSales.com.
Fast, friendly, and efficient. Windsor Door Sales.
Around here, everyone knows you need the right tool for the job. It's the difference between orders filled and orders missed, between return customers and product returns. That's why I order from Grainger. With over 250 local branches, will-call product pickup, and a time-saving mobile app, it's easy to get it right. When it comes to getting what you need, when you need it, Grainger's got your back. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly.
This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The cost of living seems to go up every year, but Comfort Dental still offers $19 exam and x-rays for new patients, a $185 value, payment due at time of service. Comfort Dental accepts Medicaid and most insurance plans. Comfort Dental branded dental practices are independent franchises, owned and operated by state-licensed general dentists. For dentist contact info, go to comfortdental.com. With locations in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Santa Fe. We'll be there when you need us. Comfort Dental.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold? Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children. Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Investment mistakes? Oh boy, I've seen some doozies.
Ken Fisher, founder and executive chairman of Fisher Investments.
Things like being too conservative, ignoring the long-term erosion of your wealth from inflation, or trying to time the market. And if you're retired or close to being,
You may not have enough time to recover, so use your noodle and call for our free guide.
13 Retirement Investment Blunders to Avoid explains how anyone can stumble on the road to retirement with errors like working with a non-fiduciary advisor or mutual funds with nosebleed-level fees. Call 1-888-FISHER-4 for your free guide. And as a bonus, we'll send you, at no cost, Maximize Your Social Security for Retirement. See how your decisions now can affect this important source of retirement cash flow. Fisher Investments has helped thousands achieve a comfortable retirement.
You could achieve your investment goals without becoming your own worst enemy.
Call 1-888-FISHER-4. That's 1-888-FISHER-4.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on homeowners insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you curl up on the couch in a fetal position and cry at cheesy movies, even though you've seen them 1,000 times and have all the lines memorized.
You and me, and also you with me, and you and I.
The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the tear-filled comfort zone you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
The Dan Patrick Show, today at 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Global basketball women tonight here on the Sports Animal. UNM Houston, Joshua Sushan and Nikki Heckroth-Lobato. They will crack the microphone at 6:30. Tomorrow night, Lobo men against the Green Bay Phoenix over on News Radio KKOB. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Hoser. Big one tonight for New Mexico State. They are on the road at UTEP. They've beaten the Miners 10 in a row. Your point is dead on. Look at it in a way where the opportunity, Ray brought it up. Well, if you split on the road and you split in Brooklyn, what if you sweep them? What if you win these two, go to 3-0, beat the Miners, beat the Aggies, you're 5-0, go to Brooklyn and win those two, and you're 7-0. Now you're in the polls.
Yeah.
Now
that's the ultimate what if right there.
To your point, then you're like, hey, look what we just did. Now all of a sudden you're building your resume. Now if you slip up in Vegas, slip up. If you get beat, I don't think getting beat is slipping up. Now you've got a conversation, right? Yes.
You have to make 2-3 losses at most in Mountain West play though.
Okay.
I will find it, but there's an article. It has the stats of the last few years about at-larges and how outside of the Power Six,
there's like 5
those numbers are like gone.
Yeah, they're like
so. Like even when we say, "Oh, at-large non-conference," like you have to be perfect because there's not a lot there that's going to put New Mexico in that position.
Like a Utah State, right? Yes. Edward, good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning. Just some observations from the weekend. By the way, the 5-star picks were struggling, my friends.
That's right.
1 and 2 this weekend, and right at the Mendoza line. Dude, what's up with your Rams?
They're not good.
Can we take the genius level label off Sean McVay yet, or does that kind of transpire through the next couple of years? I'm disappointed with them, Jeff. I thought they'd go into Pittsburgh. What are your thoughts?
They're not very good. They've got no running game. They've got a quarterback who's struggling when it gets to be bad weather and he gets pressure on him. Their defense is still pretty nice, but offensively, they're really not very good.
Boy, they got some thick contracts they gave out last year, and we'll see how they turn this thing around. The other loss I took was the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday night, and against my better judgment, I always stay away from Cowboys and Patriots games, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to give them a chance in a primetime game. I've been critical of Dak Prescott, but my man killed it Sunday night. He delivered in a big way. Speaking of thick contracts, their running back, he looks uninspired, and it's not entirely his fault if he doesn't get holes to run through, but he doesn't have any burst, goes down with arm tackles. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I think the Cowboys, given their upcoming schedule at what they now 5-4, and going to Philly later this year, I think they're a 50-50 proposition to make the playoffs. And then you ask the question, is it going to be Urban Meyer or Lincoln Riley if they make that move? But there's a lot of football to play. Weather's becoming a factor. Games are tightening up. Pretty interesting stuff. The one team that did deliver for me is my NFC title pick at the beginning of the year was the Green Bay Packers, and even they're flawed and got some gratuitous calls that kind of helped them through the game. I think momentum's shifting in the NFL. Again, I say games are tightening up. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have something big for the New England Patriots this week on the road, and I think they may beat them. It's going to be very interesting. Anyway, I got to respond. Those 5-star picks, we got to get back on track. I did want to speak about two things with the NCAA. I've been telling you for several years now that the major 5 or 6 conferences are going to secede from the NCAA. I think we had two catalytic events this weekend, last Friday. One was the Ohio State kid who I guess borrowed money from a friend to fly his girlfriend to a game and paid them back and was suspended. And then the other issue with the Memphis State basketball player, and I think people were very upset nationwide about those two events. It doesn't take much to change momentum and to kind of have an inflection point in business. And I do believe that the more the NCAA tries to flex their muscle in instances like this, people are going to get more and more disenchanted. And quite honestly, they don't have a lot of leverage. Case in point, Memphis decided to play their player anyway. And I don't know all the logistics on it. He was suspended. Maybe they had an injunction. But their coach said, hey, we're going to play him until, we're going to continue to play him. I think this kind of sets some groundwork, maybe a small swell of groundwork to say, you know what, you are a governing body, but quite honestly, we don't really need you. We have our own television contracts. We'll make our own money. Thanks for playing. And this may be a decade down the road, but I think instances like these are a cause for change. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Gentlemen, have a delightful day.
See you. I don't know that we're as close as he thinks. Certainly there are rules, right? And you got to play by the rules. I think the plane ticket thing is really an interesting one.
And then the whole Memphis issue with Penny Hardaway, who at the time,
what's going on there? Because
it's Wiseman there, standout 7'1" freshman center, who's potential lottery pick, one and done player. So when Penny Hardaway was high school AAU coach, he helped Wiseman and his family move to the area. Thus, also during that time,
relationship with this young man.
Also during that time, he had donated money to Memphis, which made him a booster. So due to that contact, now that he's the head coach, that is against NCAA rules.
Yeah.
Even though he had no idea at the time he was going to be head coach at Memphis.
Yeah, that was a problem. They haven't ruled on that, obviously.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and then another judge.
They suspended him, and then they were granted a injunction.
As they should have been.
Yeah. On that, and they're like, no, this kid can play.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the technicality of that rule and you start sifting through that one, I think that's when you got to look back and say, all right, yeah, that doesn't work. Right?
And then with the Chase Young, the Ohio State defensive end, in his situation, flying his girlfriend out, family friend gave him some money. He's already at Ohio State at that point in time, and it's, well, you're an athlete, so you're getting the benefit of the doubt, someone giving you money to get your girlfriend out there. The thing that was all of a sudden kind of salty about that one is, did you see the reports with Joe Klatt and Gus Johnson that they were hinting at maybe it was Maryland?
Yeah,
that brought that to the attention of Ohio State.
And that's why they put 73 on him. Yeah, I did see that. There's a lot of rules that, and you've seen the NCAA rule book. It's thick. It's hard to get through. It's hard to navigate.
Working on a process of changing those things now, moving into the future. But I wanted to get back to the conversation of an at-large team and how it's pretty much impossible to be an at-large team outside of a Power 6 conference.
Were there 5 of them?
So
and 2 came from the American?
By Andrew Dykoff, a writer. It came across. This story was from 2018, but he re-upped it the last couple of weeks, and I was looking at it. He says since 2015, when the Power 6 leagues emerged after kind of the major realignment and the Big East kind of re-solidified itself after those teams went to the ACC, the Power 6 leagues have averaged roughly 30 at-large bids per year. So that means there's 6 bids for the other 25 conferences.
Yeah, so the number I was saying was 5. It's 6, and usually 2 go to the American. The A-10 tends to get 1. The Mountain West is fighting for one. And then you've got one of these teams like a 31-3 Davidson or a team that has a great season and picks somebody off in November, so they've got that marquee win, and they've got the Murray State situation, right, where they've got a great win and they've got a great player, and then they get tripped up by 2 in overtime in their conference tournament, and they've got a record of they're 31-3. And well, they lost to Lipscomb. You go to Lipscomb on a Tuesday night and go see what you can do. Go play in their gym.
And that's why the game has dramatically shifted when we talk about at-large bursts, the teams that get to the NCAA tournament, and then also how that has affected non-conference scheduling in the last few years. You don't get those games because the big-time schools can lean on these exempt tournaments. They don't have to leave their state, and they got a big break.
Yep, that's right. All of that's dead right. Mm-hmm. And that's why scheduling's gotten so much harder. And so much harder, and that's why, your home schedules look like your home schedules tend to look. 246-0610. We got one more segment for you. 888-922-0610. Want to hear your thoughts? I'll finish up the emails for you too. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and Josue, and Alden, and you on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? 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 Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one.
Lucky number 1 in the AP poll after beating Michigan State in college basketball. Auburn's in there. You get a shot at Auburn here coming up soon.
Auburn.
It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Hoser, and Alden, not Auburn.
Got a little Anthony Mathis in Oregon tonight.
Yes, you do.
They take on Memphis. Should be a really good game. Looking forward to that one. Have my eye on Kentucky and Evansville. Why? Because it's a young Kentucky team. But, Evansville, I think he's going to give them a little push. If you're looking for maybe out-of-the-box top 25 game to watch tonight, it'd be that one.
Jeff says UNM has to beat Auburn, win all the games at home, and sweep UTEP and Aggies for any chance at an at-large bid. At least they're playing offense and defense that fits their athletes. Maybe Weir's finally woken up. So that means they can't lose a game.
Pretty much.
Does that mean so they can beat Auburn but lose to Wisconsin?
Yeah.
I mean, basically what I heard is you can't lose a game.
Yeah.
Right? Win all your games at home. Do they have another road non-conference game? Is there one in there?
That.
Besides New Mexico State and UTEP? I'm pretty sure what I just read is you can't lose a game. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess if you don't lose a game, then you're going to – and then you drop
Going
2 or 3
defeated,
in the
you
league.
might have a chance at an at-large bid.
I mean, is that really where we're at?
Mm-hmm. There's not outside of Auburn, and then you play Wisconsin. What's going to be like? Oh, that's a
Well, New Mexico State should be a good RPI win, or Ken Palmer, or net, or whatever my metric is this week.
But then they're right back into that spot that you just described about Murray State. New Mexico is no different than that. If they have a gaudy record with one marquee non-conference win, but you lose, to Air Force in the Mountain West quarterfinals, and
yeah, I got you. Hello, Brutus.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, I completely agree with JJ and that email you just got. Lobos can't afford to lose a single game to get in a large bid. And these players, they have to take full advantage. All these guys that want to get into the NBA and have the potential to get to the NBA, they gotta create their brand right now. And Lobo basketball, this is an opportunity for the brand to grow. Also agree with your take, Jeff, on you make a run through these next 8 games, and Lobos will be ranked. You see San Diego State's already getting votes. The Lobo talent is respected throughout the country. I think most of the country that knows basketball knows the Lobos got a lot of talent, and I think return to the top 25 is a possibility, and I'll say it's a probability.
Okay. All right, Brutus, thank you. I think if they rank this run through these next, 2, 4, 6 games, I think they're ranked. Hello, Terry.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, Terry?
Good. I just wanted to comment on Lobo basketball. I don't think that they necessarily have to win every game in the pre-conference. I think it's still too early to tell how good the conference is going to be, but we have to keep in mind that if we beat a team such as the Aggies, if the Aggies can go on a nice run, and they do have to play Arizona, and I'm not sure who else, but they've got a few good teams they're going to be playing, that's going to up the Lobos' RPI, assuming they at least split with the Aggies. Also, UNLV, San Diego State, they still have to play some teams that are top 25 or top 50. If the Lobos can do good pre-conference, lose 1 or 2 games, and come in top 2, top 3 in the conference, and do good in the conference tournament, I think their chances of making the NCAA tournament, I think, are actually pretty good. Again, it depends on how strong our conference is overall. That's a big key.
Yep,
but anyway.
That's key. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, San Diego State's guy, they beat BYU, who we think is going to be all right. Grand Canyon was a tough loss. Who they got? They got Creighton. They play Utah in December. There's not a lot of opportunity on their schedule, is there? Am I missing something in an exempt tournament somewhere I don't see? Opportunity for San Diego State? Because I don't see.
Sure, they're in an exempt tourney, right?
Yeah, so there's got to be something on their schedule that maybe I don't see. UNLV, don't they have a game tonight?
Play Cal.
It's an opportunity, right?
Cal's 3-point favorite, so they're expecting it to be a close game.
All right. UNLV. I think Utah State's going to be the other piece. Who Utah State's going to go out and they play St. Mary's. They get LSU. Boy, that's a good game. When's the 22nd? What's today's date? 12. So 10 more days. That'll be good. Utah State LSU is going to be a nice one on CBS Sportsnet. They get Florida. So Utah State's got some opportunity, right? Yeah, it's going to depend on everybody else you play. You've talked about it all the time. What is this team doing to your RPI or your Ken Palm or your net rating? What's the metric of the year?
Well, first and foremost, you have to handle your own business.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what anyone else does. So that's why there is so much talk on the opportunities that you have on this Lobo basketball schedule.
Yeah, win. What's my rating of the year, by the way? What am I?
It's the same things.
Is it Ken Palm?
Ken Palm, the net ranking.
Yeah.
So things to go to evaluate teams throughout the season.
All right. Jason says, I-10, good morning, OD in the AM. Tonight marks a matchup of great coaches, good teams, and great historical programs. Any guesses? Yes, Lobo fan, it's the I-10 rivalry, which matches programs that have actually done things nationally, not just talked about it. NMSU is a land-grant institution, and Aggie Hoops has been doing its best to acquire things, as they have owned the teams that have inhabited the Haskins Center, the Monument to Mediocrity, and the Purple Palace in North Phoenix. Does it come to an end tonight? Aggie basketball is beat up, and Aggie Hoops has enough in terms of depth. This is an important game, as UTEP will get some wins this year, and they are much improved and could help the overall net rating for NMSU, more so than Team Talk a Lot, Flip Tires, and Team Talk a Lot Done Nothing. I heard the Team Talk a Lot has Green Bay tomorrow. Does anyone know if Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Graham, and Aaron Jones are playing? I want to put some action on that game. Crimsonally, Jason. See what he did there?
He made it funny.
Yeah, he made it funny. Yeah. It's the Green Bay Phoenix. So actually, Larry Fitzgerald's playing as well. Yeah. Maybe we get the Phoenix Suns in here now. That would be a ball game because they got some young talent. JJ Buck.
That wouldn't even be close.
No.
It's
no, fair enough. That would not even be close. I think that's right.
Devin Booker had like 85.
Devin Booker, yes. That would be that. Nor should it be close. Hence, that team is in the NBA, and your team is in the Mountain West Conference. Understood. All right.
Always fun conversations, though.
Yep.
Remember back in the day when it was like, could the Sooners beat the Browns?
Remember those conversations? And those were real.
What?
Like people are really? Yeah, I think they could. I think Kentucky could beat the Nets. Okay. Thank you to Doug Martin. He was with us today. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Dan Patrick Show will follow that. The Sports Bar is this afternoon. That starts at 3, and then you get Lobo Women's Basketball, New Mexico and Houston. That'll start for you tonight at 6:30 from the pit. Alden, thank you. Glad you were able to get upstairs today. Had access to the building. That's always the first piece of the puzzle.
30.
Another wonderful day for you. Good job. Go to work now. JJ, figure it out.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Let me know what's happening.
20.
I think I'm on the TJ Trout Show this afternoon.
Yes, you are. I heard that this morning.
I heard that too. I got to make
Don't
that
forget.
happen. Go out and be good to each other. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Be kind,
10.
loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Here's a new home for Lobo Talk, and you're listening to it.
Lobo Talk. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy.
Catch the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Every week as he talks with Lobo coaches, players, and more. Lobo Talk. Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
If you've been hurt at work, you know how important it is to get your workman's compensation checked. But the insurance company's giving you the runaround. Your bill collectors are calling, and you could lose your car or even your home, and it's not your fault. The Fogel Law Firm specializes in workman's comp claims. Workman's comp has its own laws and court. Just any lawyer can't get you every dollar you need to recover. Don't settle for less. Call the Fogel Law Firm and put their almost 4 decades of experience to work for you. 255-9092 or Fogel, Fogel, lawfirm.com.
Call us up at 246-0610 or 888-922-0610. Brought to you by Quan's Auto Care, Collision and Mechanical Repair. We make it better. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Roto-Rooter jingle, take 1.
Call Roto-Rooter.
That's the name. Take 2.
Call Roto-Rooter.
That's the name.
Take 17.
Call Roto-Rooter.
That's the name.
And away go troubles.
Down the drain.
Let's try it like this.